Two-tone APs, looking like Weezy. Haven't changed.
Bleeding, shout out, I'm bleeding. I told her I'm big like B, but she ain't believe me. See ya. Welcome back to another edition of the 1 a.m. podcast. I'm Rashad Milligan, joined here today by Jelani and RB Mo. Fellas, how are you doing?
Yeah. I definitely didn't get an answer. I just no, I'm good, How are y'all?
Man, I'm doing good, man. You know, channeling my inner Salvadorian farmer today, man.
I was trying to say you look like you on like a good vacation right now.
Yeah, you know, I'm just out here on a little vibe, man. Can't let the people know the location, man. You know, so I keep the background discreet.
Facts.
I was about to say you should have changed the background to like the beach house or something.
Yeah, they only got so many, and I ain't go look up a photo.
Oh, okay. Bad.
No, you don't want to give them too much. You don't want them to see the secret beach house.
Right, exactly.
It's like Roswell Mill.
Facts.
He said Roswell.
Like, dang it. They found out about Roswell Mill. Same thing. Beach house, Roswell Mill, same thing.
No, it's the exact same thing.
Bro, I remember I went down there one time. I took a girl on a date down there. Bro, I slipped and fell and messed up my knee so bad, bro. Bro, it killed the whole vibe for me, man. Like it was like over there by like the bottom part, so it was like slipped and fell, almost fell into the water, and then like scraped up my knee horribly, bro. It was.
I'm gonna lie, I don't think Roswell Mill is the best place for a date.
I think if you like the hike, I think the hiking part is a little bit isn't bad. The actual mill, like where then they got like I guess the waterfall in the back where you can jump off. Like I never did that part, but I heard they got that. So I think that probably would be cool where you jump off the waterfall, or whatever. But yeah, the actual part where most people are at, yeah, that ain't really it.
That's the type of spot y'all go to when y'all been locked in already for a little while.
Yeah, I agree. I'll say that, and then definitely friend groups, like because if you slip and what I'm saying over like because it's slippery in that mud, like because it get muddy by it, everything. The closer and closer you get to that water, the slipperier it gets. If you slip, your friend's just gonna laugh, and y'all just have a good laugh. If you do it in front of a date, especially if it's like y'all in the early stages, now it's what I'm saying. I gotta act like it didn't really happen, or like she gotta, downplay it and like, no, I still respect you as a man, and she don't, what I'm saying? It's that whole thing. So,
nah, that's a fact. I ain't been up there. That's one of them things that in my early 20s that I would do. I haven't went out there since I was probably about literally probably exactly 20, bro.
Did you play it off like when it happened? Like did you thug it out, or did you?
I thugged it out.
Okay.
I had a little limp, but I definitely
Did you say ah?
I mean, it was like I was like oh,
Yeah.
She was like, oh my gosh, you okay? Blah blah blah. And I was like, yeah, I'm good. It's like blood dripping down my leg, but it's all, we're gonna be straight.
Yeah, when dudes get around girls or around women, like it's like you develop you turn into Wolverine. Like you don't want to let nothing harm you. You can break your arm, you're just gonna play it off like it's all good.
Right. You get shot, probably be like, like you okay? Yeah. We good.
This is a light flesh wound,
Yeah.
That's my favorite meme, bro. The one of the dude at the party, and they're shooting at the party, and then he's just like, is that? I feel like that like plays part into like so much in life for sure. But yeah, man. How am I doing? I'm doing well. Today was an off day for me, but I've been going nonstop since the beginning, from like outside calls and inside. Like it's been work for real. But I did a lot of stuff, like a lot of errands, ran a lot of errands. Came back to the crib, came back on the streetcar. I took it for the first time to Charlie. and it was 150. So I'm like, oh yeah, I definitely about to start using this John. And when I came back after all of that, it was still only 330. And I was like, man, like just
It's
imagine
actually
get
it's
done with
actually
the
really
job.
fun. Oh, my bad. Bro.
Wait, no, go ahead, Jelani.
Oh no, I was saying it's actually like being able to take a trolley to work is actually really fire, or just being able to take a trolley to the crib back and forth is
Yeah,
actually like really fire.
yeah, no, it was real smooth. It was real smooth, but that jump was but like I said, it was 330 at the end, like of the whole time. I was like, man, like this is life like without work in the middle of the day from like taking up 8 hours and stuff.
No, that's lit.
Wait, so when you not to put I don't want to put your whole business out there, but like so when you go to work, do you just walk or do you walk in and
It's an 8 minute walk. It's an 8 minute
oh so
walk.
you don't even got to take a Uber or nothing.
Yeah, I purposely moved downtown to just walk everywhere like that. That's why I
Oh, that's
bring my
fire. That's
yeah.
dope.
That's why I bring my car down here.
Okay, for sure, for sure.
Hmm. Yeah,
That's tough. How
yeah.
was everybody's weekend?
Mine was cool. I really I thought I was gonna watch college football. I didn't have no interest in any of those games that they have for the first, but we got the real college football coming this weekend, so I'm definitely tapped in.
Swag football disrespect.
Nah, it was it was like Kansas State, Iowa State. I was like, nah, I'm cool, bro. I'm good.
Southern North Carolina Central, the Swag MEAC Challenge,
Oh, they played last weekend?
the Georgia State.
No. I feel like when HBCU like when they have football games, like the football is the least important thing out of everything. Like the band, the game itself just being an event, like all that stuff. I don't think black people don't really care about the. I mean, certain games for sure. Like who's FAMU's main rival? I forget.
Oh, Bethune Cookman.
Yeah, like that's. I feel like that game be big, but for the most
HU
part,
versus HU.
Hey,
yeah,
man,
it's certain games.
the one that I used to go to every year was the TSU versus FAMU. That used to be FAMU's biggest rival. Back in up until a point, I don't know, like for some reason they don't really play anymore, but they used to do the Million Man March down in Atlanta every year. And then that would be like the classic that they would do. And cause I have a lot of family that went to TSU. So they would come down to Atlanta every year and we would go to that game. And yeah, that was one of my core childhood memories, going. And as you said, the game, who actually won the football game never really mattered. It was just like who band performed the best.
Right.
I think TSU. I think they left HBCU conferences.
Okay. Yeah, that would make sense because I always wondered what happened to the game. I never really looked into it, but yeah, that used to be TSU versus FAMU. That was the biggest thing. They don't really do Battle of the Bands no more. Like last time I looked it up, they were doing one out in like California. I'm like, bro, that's not
They just did it this past weekend in Houston. They've been doing it in Houston the last couple of years.
really.
Yeah, it used to be like we say like Atlanta's thing, but they moved it out to Houston. Like a couple of years ago, one of Takeoff's last performances was Battle of the Bands in Houston. It was Takeoff and Quavo, and they was doing Hannah Montana, and then like the bands was like moving and stuff. I was like, dang, bro, like it's crazy. All these years later, Hannah Montana still had the kids moving, bro. I was like, it was like a proud like tear or whatever watching it on YouTube.
Facts.
Have y'all I've been seeing this on TikTok. I'm not personally friends with no college students right now, but have y'all been seeing like Kennesaw State? I guess now is like the new like popping school in the Metro Atlanta area. Like as far as where all the black kids want to go to.
Nah, I ain't hear about that.
I
I guess
saw a clip from GA followers, and like the kids had a bunch of like foreigns or whatever. They said, "Yeah, we out in Europe. We about to drive these to KSU." And like GA followers was like, "LOL, they about to really take up to KSU." And I was like, Like what do they mean by that? Like what is the joke here? Is there something on TikTok that I didn't get it at all? So if you know, Jelani.
Yeah, no. So they I think they said that they had let in like they had like an abnormally large like freshman class they let in this year, but it's a lot more. Um, I don't know what happened, but it's a lot more black kids than what they would normally have. But you know, a lot of you have those streamers that like go on campus and like be hollering at the girls and stuff like that. They've been having a bunch of those on the KSU campus to the point where it's like I'm seeing TikToks of girls like almost doing PSAs like, yo, if you see me on campus, like don't approach me, like just let me go to classroom because that's how out of hand it's gotten. And yeah, I guess that's the new move now. I guess for the kids is Kennesaw State. I was just laughing though because that was never like KSU was always been a respectable school, but that was never really like a party school like that when we was coming up. I feel like
Right. Nah, for
uh,
real.
they
KSU, KSU back when we was in like middle school, early high school, it was just that small. It felt like that small little local college, And
exactly.
then they took over Southern Poly, and then after they took over Southern Poly, then it grew a little bit, and then yeah, I know not too long after we graduated, they went Division One, and I think that's where it just kind of been going up from there because they wasn't from them to go from where they were when we were like young and first hearing about them to be like a D1, a legit D1 school now, it's just it just feels weird. I be looking at it like I remember seeing them on NCAA. I'm like, they really on NCAA. That is wild.
Yeah, playing as Kennesaw State on a football game does sound like it sounds kind of crazy.
I took them to they were a dynasty after I was done with them. I put them in the SEC.
How did y'all do?
It took some years, but the rebuild came together.
Hey, as long as it worked out, that's all that matters.
Nah, facts. Now, but I'll say right after we graduated though, KSU it was always lit. It was fun. There'll be like little functions up there to go to. But yeah, I think now that it's like a legit, they have a lot more just going on up there, and they've expanded so much. And and I think just in the area, there's a lot more to do in Cobb County in general now.
Yeah,
So, yeah, I bet it is kind of lit up there now. I mean, I had some good times at KSU. Been to a few. Uh, my boy Don used to live right next to the Marietta campus, and yeah, we used to parlay over there all the time, man. That used to be the spot. But yeah, other than that,
yeah.
man,
It was just crazy seeing like on my TikTok they had like I just went ahead and just searched Kennesaw State after I seen it, but I was like they had videos of they having like I think it's called the Divine Nine, like all the frats, and they got them stumping on a. I don't even know if it's the yard over there or if it's like I think it's like it's like some big. I don't know what the name of the apartment complex is, but it's like a student housing over there that they was all on the lawn. It was like, yo, it looked kind of crazy over there, but no, I'm not gonna be 30 years old popping up on campus to hang out with the youngins. I don't want to be that dude.
nah, facts.
We went to yeah, KSU. They always kind of been like respectable. I think since like we went to college. Because I went there my freshman year of school to visit Julian and stuff like that. And we went to the dining hall and everything. It was nicely built. Everything was set up. The campus looked nice. And by the time I was a senior, we went over there another time. Like you know how like when you go to when you go to school in Atlanta, like you eventually like you might be in a group that has an event at KSU at some of the other Atlanta schools. So I just ended up at KSU a couple other times before I graduated. And it was developing. Like the gym is real nice student gym over there, a rec center and stuff. It became like a full-fledged campus by the time we graduated, and then like most of the football team went D1. Yeah, really KSU was just where was I was trying to think of where I was gonna go, like of like when KSU grew and stuff. I don't know. The basketball team became fire that one year. Rest in peace to Coach Amir Abdul Rahim. He really coached them boys to the NCAA tournament, and they beat Rutgers like the year that they had them two kids from Cobb. Well, the one kid from Cobb, Ace Bailey, and Dylan Harper, the number 2 pick this year. They beat them boys, and they came down to KSU. So that was a moment. KSU just had a lot of moments, especially in basketball. And yeah. I felt like I was trying to think of something with that. Oh yeah, it's just far. Like it's far in Cobb. I remember another line with Randy from Larry League. Shout out to Randy from Larry League, Randy Provolone. And he had a line on like Zelda Dottie's was the song. And he said, got a F in 2.5. Kennesaw State go Owls. Like, cause back then when we was in high school, like that's how we looked at Kennesaw State darn near as like glorified community college. So to
Right.
see it go from that to like night school to respectable college, like is pretty cool to see. Oh, and then I also went to KSU right after I graduated. This might have been actually I was still in school then. I was actually still in school. I was a senior, and we did a homecoming tour. So we went to we tried to go to all the homecomings in Metro Atlanta, and yeah, we went to KSU. Let me see. Yeah, 2016. All right, I'm Saved by the Bell. 2016, right there, and this was like Glorilla Zoe was before.
Gorilla Zone is crazy.
Yeah, this is at the what you call the tailgate, bro. They was turned, man. They was turned over there at KSU, boy. I seen a couple folks from high school, a couple folks that used to be hosting them. Look at these folks. Them boys was turned,
But
man. Them white
it's
boys
mostly it's
going-
mostly I feel like it's mostly white people though.
yeah. But it was a little black tailgate too. Hold on, let me see. Let me see if I can find it. Nah, those are the only videos I had. But they had a little black tailgate too, and a little black part and stuff. And they had rappers over there. Oh, this is a Glorilla Zoe one where Glorilla Zoe performing. You see him on the stage. But yeah,
Shout out to
yeah,
Gorilla.
shout out to Glorilla Zoe. Who was it? Shout out to Glory Girl. That's her cousin. Dang, I'm trying to think. They had Jay Newton. He was a rapper out there. I remember when Cam the Artisan performed at KSU. So they have some culture over there for sure.
What
Autumn
color?
Johnson. Shout out to Autumn Johnson doing her thing in the WNBA and on WNBA broadcast side with Ion and everything. And she was at KSU.
What college campus, other than the school you went to, do you feel either one of y'all felt like y'all had the most fun at?
Honestly, probably like we had like a little. There was like a little run back in like 2015. Like you mentioned Southern Poly. Like I definitely remember going to I think that was Don's apartment over there like a few different times with you back then around that like 2015, 2016 era around that time for sure.
Yeah.
I feel like it was low key like at least I feel like it's at least like once a month. Like somebody's having like a kickback or something over there. I feel like.
Yeah, facts. Yeah, that used to be the spot.
Yeah, I feel like there probably. But Rashad, you was in the city though, so you had access to all the.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I was like, because other schools, it low key felt like I kind of went there too, like because they're so close in the city. I'll say for me, it was probably Ole Miss. And we were only there for a weekend for a journalism conference, Southeastern Journalism Conference. And we just had a crazy story over there. So I'll say Ole Miss. If not Ole Miss, KSU. Just because yeah, that time too. But I never really had no crazy nights or crazy experiences at the AUC for real. Like AUC, every time I was there, it was chill. Or it was for an event, and I was kind of in and out. After the event, I go home.
Yeah, I'd say for me, for some reason, like Slick, I have to say probably Georgia Tech Like I had a couple of homeboys, like
Oh,
Cravante.
yeah. You know, I don't go over there.
Yeah, yeah. Georgia, yeah. I had some good times at Georgia Tech because I had we knew somebody that played on the football team, so like kicking with him a couple of times, and then I had a homeboy who was, I want to say he was an alpha for Tech. So I went to a few alpha functions, and bro, it's like back in college, the people in fraternities, the fraternities used to get all the love, you know. So you went to a fraternity event, and I used to hate going to fraternity events unless I knew, like, I had a direct connection with people there, And but if you go to like an event and you pretty much cool with all the, like, how cool with like the alphas and stuff, so I was able to kind of get like a little bit more access than a normal person, where like I got a lot of love. Bruh, them parties used to be fun as heck, bruh. Like, but as I said, it's only because I'm connected. So, it's like behind the scenes stuff where they grilling and able to do this, that, and the other. They'll be like, all right, no, he good, stuff like that. So that made it fun. But yeah, if I wasn't like, and I went to a couple of alpha parties with Peter, he was the president of the alpha down at Southern. And it's like stuff like that, always great times. I'm like, bro, if I wouldn't have no direct connection, bro, them parties used to be so trash. Cause it's just, you just another one in the crowd, and the girls ain't there for. And if you ain't in a fraternity at that moment, or you connected with somebody, bro, they do not care
Yeah,
about
I was about to say, maybe that was my problem in college. Like maybe I just wasn't,
Nah, man, bro, they used to be so trash, bro. Like you go to like a fraternity thing, and they over there stepping through all the good songs. You be in the middle of a twerk, and next thing you know, they coming through with a line. Then next thing you know, the girls start doing all their little stuff with it, and it's like you like, bruh. And if you break, if you try and get in between, like I ain't gonna hold you. There was a couple times I was like, bro, I'm about to risk this, bro, because y'all pissing me off. Like y'all sitting here trying to walk past, like, in my way right now, and I wanted to be like, just stand my ground, but then you got to really weigh it out. Do you really feel like getting jumped? So. But.
Yeah, I remember when I was at Jacksonville State. That was like the first, because I never even really thought about like that they do that at parties until I got to college, and it wasn't even a frat party. It was just like a regular school event. Out of nowhere, they start stepping through the party. I'm like, bro, like I don't know. For some reason, when I thought about the fraternity people, I thought they just did that like at their own events or just on a yard and stuff like that. No, they will literally be at, it could be like a random apartment party, and they would just break out.
do that in a club.
And I think I was at like a club when this happened. I think, yeah, just out of nowhere, just, and like Mo said, you can't break it up because they got the numbers on you. It ain't even about being soft. It's just like it's 12 of y'all right now. It's one of me, so I'm not even trying to get into that. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, that's if you were a college student and you're a football player or you're in a frat, those is like, it's like cheat, or a basketball player, just a star athlete in general. Um, those are like cheat codes right there for sure.
Bruh, for real. But I got one homeboy that I don't know what exactly his experiences was, but I can tell he's definitely scorned by fraternity dudes because he do not like. He always talk about, man, because I don't, man, like F them fraternity, like the fraternity. I feel like, man, forget them, this, that, and the other. And the way he be talking about it, I'm like, oh, you must have went to a party and they stole one of your girls. Like you could just hear, like, when somebody has like a deep resentment for something, and like when he be talking about it, I'll be like, I don't know what happened to you, bro, but I could tell your whole vibe got killed by some dudes out of fraternity one day, and you've been standing on that since.
Do y'all think it's a bit like kind of weird how like it's a few things that we kind of accept as society that's just weird, but like since it's been there all of our lives, like nobody kind of questions it or not enough people question it. I think like the first one that someone pointed out was like the fact that managers in baseball, like the coaches, wear uniforms, full uniforms, like the players. Like nobody thinks that's weird. Like imagine in basketball, like if you just came out in like basketball shorts and a jersey, like a sleeveless jersey, and was like time, like no one will take you seriously. Like that's crazy. And then it's like I think the fact that fraternities are kind of like educated gangs, and like it's just an accepted thing. Like because isn't it crazy? Like what's gonna happen if you break up the line? You're gonna get jumped. Doesn't that sound like a dang gang? Like it's like the same thing. You disrespect a gang, you get jumped or something worse. But usually you get jumped.
No, it is kind of crazy when you think about it because it's like, what are we really like? What is your outside of the fact that you like these are your peoples or whatever? Like, what is your real attachment to like Greek culture in general when you really think about it? Like the whole idea of it is kind of, and I don't even want to sit here and act like I'm informed enough to fully know the history of like Black Greek culture, but some of the standards and practices as far as like how much it takes to get into and you got to pay dues and it's a lot that goes into it. It's kind of weird when you break it down.
No, facts. One of the reason that I never wanted to join a fraternity was just hearing some of the stories because I know going through the process where you got these people that like your um I can't remember the word exactly for like the people that come before you, not your LBs, not your line brothers,
Oh,
but
okay. I was about to say your bigs.
yeah, I think so. Like your bigs, not the line brothers that you actually go through the line with, but the ones that come before you that kind of got to put you through the ringer. And hearing some of the stories of what some of the people that I was around had to go through to get in. Like I had a homeboy who they took his car and like they would take his car on the regular, end up crashing his car, and then he had to pay for the damages. Like they didn't pay for it. Like right there, I'm done. Like I'm about to crash out on y'all. I'm gonna just keep it a buck. Or I had another homeboy who it was that joined the white fraternity, and he was telling me about, and this was all like stuff that during my freshman year that I'm seeing them go through, hearing their experiences, and he was just talking about how they treated him like crap, and then now it's hard for him to look at them as like we're all brothers because it's like, bro, you treated me like crap for dang near a year, and now we're supposed to just all be cool and stuff, and I felt them on that because it would be certain things that it would be hard for me to overlook to be like, well, I'm glad that's behind this. Hey, that's my bro, like nah, like yeah. So I think yeah, it is interesting, with that, and I feel that's one of the things that it's hard for people. I know it's hard for me to be able to overlook stuff like that, but then and essentially they got to put you down with the gang, man. The other thing is they pay so much money to be in those too, bro.
Yeah, rest in peace to Caleb Wilson. First of all, before we continue, rest in peace, Caleb Wilson.
Right, facts. Nah, facts, bro. They try to talk about Hazen is dead and whatnot, but that's a lie.
I feel like I mean, you have some guys who join because like maybe their parents or like their dad might have been or their grandparent might have been a member of a certain frat. But if we're being totally honest, I feel like the majority of dudes that do it is just for like access to the girls. If you really
Bro,
look at
I
it,
was
like,
in a yeah. So y'all know I was in a couple campus ministries. One of them was Man Cave, and the leader of Man Cave was like because kind of like the whole point of Man Cave is kind of like striving for pureness. And obviously, I think a lot of times in Christian life and a lot of the leaders, they have to kind of come from some type of struggle or some type of background, you know what I'm saying, to kind of validate their testimony. Because it's like, oh, who are you to you never slipped up before? So this one dude who was like, kind of OD that first half of his college, he was our leader in the campus ministry and stuff like that for this men's peer group. And so, one day we were just talking about, we talking about everything. And they was talking about some of the frats. And he said, yeah, I was trying to play a so-and-so. And then they were like, "Oh yeah, you know the history of it. Da da da. I felt like it fit my personality." He said, "I'm not gonna lie. This is what the leader." He said, "I was just trying to get as much vagina as I could at the time."
I mean, that's really what it is for the most part. Yo, college is like, I think that's. See, I only did 1 year, so I didn't get the full experience. But I just from being around that age and having people that I knew around that age, that like when I was back at that age, that's definitely probably like the horniest time of your life for both genders, not even just for men. Like, I feel like it might be even worse for the young ladies around that time. Not all of them, but the ones that's like that is at that because bro, you don't have nobody stopping you. It ain't no like it ain't like when you in high school when you kissing a girl in the hallway and like somebody come interrupts you. Like, no, bro, you could go as far as you want to go at that age. And yeah,
I think that's why I'm single. Like, so if anybody's like, if you in your 30s and you still single, you just like I went to college, bro. Like, because my whole life growing up before college was American Pie. College is American Pie. So I'm like, oh man, I meet girl, broke up with my girl. I say I want to live the American Pie experience. I'll see you next summer. If it's meant to be, she said, okay, bet. 2 weeks later, she was like, hey, so stop calling me. I said, okay, bet. Uh, I went out. I attempted the American Pie experience. I came back next summer, you know what I'm saying? Got me a different girlfriend, everything like that. Things was moving smooth. That didn't work out. Okay, the rest of college kind of sucked. I just dated a bunch of women at the same time, and that was fun. I ain't gonna lie. No, okay. So the rest of college did not suck. I just dated a bunch of women at the end, like my senior year. But uh, yeah, I think that really just kind of led the rest of the 20s. That's like dating around instead of like settling. Because I tried to settle in college and then tried not to settle, and it just didn't. It's weird, bro. So how y'all feel about that? Of like how y'all's mentality of college kind of set you up for where you are now?
I know. Um, yeah, I don't know. I think definitely my freshman year, I wasn't as much going on. There was an incident where it definitely where I an interaction with a girl that was drunk that and it's like, this is before you really like, you being 18, you ain't never really interacted with girls that are like really inebriated and stuff. And it was like me and her had kind of hooked up, but then she was like, oh, and we didn't really do nothing for real. It's just like made out. But she was like, she didn't really remember it. And it just like I was like, oh, that makes me very uncomfortable. And it was like from there, it changed my perspective of dealing with girls who are drunk for sure. Like I definitely so that shaped me in one way. And then I say once I left Southern and then I came back, uh and I guess I wasn't technically in college, but being around a lot of college campuses during that time after I left Southern after my second year. Yeah, I think it was a lot of dating around and whatnot. Uh, so yeah, so I don't know. I don't really feel like that as much shaped me. Um, yeah, I don't know. I like as I said, I feel like it didn't really shape me as much as I think some of the relationships that I had after that really kind of shaped how I feel today. I think going through, but I will say being in college, especially during that time, there's a lot of girls. Girls in college, you're young. Yeah, you got a boyfriend, but do you really? You know, and it made me very skeptical of women during that time. So I will say that did actually kind of shape me because there was a few women that because I wasn't in a relationship at the time, but would, it was a few girls that was, and they definitely didn't act like it. And then you start making you skeptical because it's like, what? Like, this is how women be acting out here, like, you never know what your girl doing. So
yeah, I'm gonna be honest. I feel like I saw I feel like I saw so much treacherous shit in high school. Like, I don't know if can we curse it. I think we can. I'm not sure.
Yeah, it's 34 minutes.
Yeah. I feel like I saw so much treacherous stuff in high school that like by the time I got to college, I feel like I was already desensitized, and maybe our high school was just like especially horny. But I just feel like there was a lot of there's just a lot of wild stuff going on in our school that by the time I got to high school, even with me personally, like by the time I got to college, I was already. It took me like a few years till I was maybe like 23, 24 to have like a more. I would never consider myself a feminist or anything like that, but to have like a more positive understanding image on like relationships and women and things like that. I feel like college, like high school, kind of corrupted me a little bit, and then early 20s, even though I wasn't in college, like most say, you see, certain stories, you hear about certain things happening to certain dudes. It's like, oh man, it's sketchy out here. But by the time I got to be like 24, 25, I was like more understanding of certain situations when it comes to women.
Yeah, man. Those early 20s, man. It's especially the difference between now and then. Dealing with women, you can, especially being back out into the dating scene. Man, I had like over the weekend, I was kicking it with one of my homegirls, and she's 26, and just realizing the difference between the age kind of gaps now. I used to think before, I think around when I was 29, I was like, as long as she can drink, like she go to a bar, 21 is good enough. But and honestly, that's like, I used to think that in my latter 20s. But now I'm like, I don't want no girl under 25, 26 for real, because it's I don't know, it's different, bro. It's seeing how they move, and I don't know, I just feel like there's a certain level of maturity there as well that I'm realizing that I'll rather interact with than, because she's 26, some of her homegirls are like 24, 25-ish, so it's like interact with all them. It was fun. Like I had a great time with all them and everything, but at the same time, it made me realize, I was like, man, I don't think this vibe is for me, man. Like, I guess we getting older, and I can feel it now. I'm like, I don't want the with how some of these women, and I think some of the stuff they be talking about that they like, when people I be seeing the stuff about, oh, like what is that? Good Luck Charlie. Like, oh my gosh, Good Luck Charlie is in high school. I'm like, bro, I was in high school when that came out. That ain't for me. Like, you looking at Good Luck Charlie, like, oh my gosh, she's like an adult now. It's like, yeah, or she's a teenager. I think you might be just a little too young for me. I don't know.
Nah, I ain't gonna lie. When I saw Good Luck Charlie now, I was like, dang, bro.
Yeah, see, like you'll date like a 20, 21, 22-year-old. She'll say something like, yeah, I was in elementary school when Phineas and Ferb came out. Bro, what? Like, I was.
Them be the ones. Them be
Yeah,
the ones. When you say something like, I was in middle school when this happened, they be like, dang. I be like, what you mean, dang? Like, I was talking to shout out Lareezy, I heard today, and we were talking about Tyler the Creator. Because, he said the turning point in his music career of how you view rap was Call Me If You Get Lost. And then at first, when I first heard that, I was like, is he serious? And then I thought about it. I was like, oh, he's 20. That album came out when he was like 16. So I asked him about it today. He said, yeah, the album came out when I was like 16, I guess. But I didn't hear it until I was 17. And then he said I listened to it because Youngboy was on it. And so I listened to the Youngboy song. I said, oh, he's sliding. And then I was like, let me listen to the whole album. And that was his introduction to Tyler Creator. And I said, my introduction to Tyler Creator was also at the age of 15. And I said, I'm 30 now. And he said, dang. So it's just funny how that always happens.
Yeah, no, you gotta also, like, once you get to be like 28, 29, 30, like you gotta actually start thinking about Like if I get this girl pregnant, like what is it gonna look like? Like if you 30 and you, because I'm not judging nobody for anything. I understand it's some fine 21, 22, 23-year olds out here, but like if you 30 and you get a 21, 22-year-old pregnant, what does that baby shower look like? Like how awkward is that going to be? You know, if y'all not a couple, like if y'all like, yeah, we're gonna raise the baby together or whatever, but we're gonna go our separate ways, like that can make for a very awkward situation at y'all baby shower.
That's a fact.
Then
Yeah.
Jay-Z popped out with Beyonce her 21st birthday.
Yeah, but I feel like that was such a different era, like early 2000s. That was still the era when, like, I'm not saying it was acceptable. We talked about it on here before too, but like that was still the era when like a 23-year-old might go to prom with an 18-year-old and like nobody's getting arrested. It's just like it is what it is. I don't know how they know each other, but you know, that was like a different time in society.
Nah, facts. I ain't gonna lie though. Hey, I did say, there's a few girls that like, that are bad. If you Beyonce bad, I could overlook it. I might stoop down to about 22.
Hey, it's you know what I'm saying? I feel like it's some people, if you made particular songs that might have banged on TikTok, you know what I mean?
I know exactly what you're talking about.
I do. I was gonna say I got my homegirl that's 26. She got a friend that is she's 24. They ain't gonna hear this. And yeah, I ain't gonna hold you. I'm plotting on that one. She's a very cool girl, and like she is younger, but she's very mature for her age. Like just talking with her and everything. I was like, bruh, I'm contemplating shooting my shot at that one. But yeah, the rest of the girls, I'll be like, nah. But it'd be like certain ones that like, bruh, they bad and they mature, then you can probably overlook it. But as I said, for the most part, though, I think in general, I don't want to entertain nothing that's around that age.
30 and 24 ain't bad though. I feel like 24 is probably the very 24, 23 would probably be like the youngest I'd go for real.
Yeah, it used to be 22 for me, but
yeah, it's not. I feel like a 70.
I don't know. I feel like if she looked good enough, if she graduated and she got a job, you know what I mean? Like she already started her career, she graduated, and she 22. I'm at least, and she looked good enough. I'm at least, hey, let's talk for a little bit. If the talks is like just so far, then at that point, I'm gonna be like, okay, I'm tapping out. And I say this because, obviously I ain't no Drizzy, but I definitely I feel like out of us three, am like I have the history with the youngest. You know what I'm saying? I usually, I have a history with younger and things of that sort. It's all legal.
No, okay, I was gonna say it. Don't say it like that.
It's all legal, but in the legal world, I usually, I have tended younger sometimes. You know what I'm saying? So, that's what I say. I say I'll always give it like, okay, we'll entertain it. I'll keep an open ear out to it. Woo. But if the conversations are just two different worlds, and it's two different worlds, because you could talk to a 28-year-old who went back to school, and the conversation will be a bit different,
Nah, facts. Yeah. If I'm gonna stoop down that low, you got to be fine. Like,
and you got to have a couple hit records, if
yeah.
Right. Nah, facts though.
Speaking of, I was gonna try to transition. I can't even find a segue. I was gonna try to transition to the Lil Baby topic, but I don't even know how to segue that one. I'll
pull it up.
Yeah, I don't even want to dive into it too much.
Yeah. That's cool. That's we are grown men who pay bills at the end of the day, so we do have to have some type of like kind of standard and respect for ourselves here.
No,
However,
this
is a podcast, and we will, I guess, speak on this real quick. Like I said, I didn't care about this. I didn't care about Young Thug a snitch. I didn't care about either one of them things. But this is my first time looking at it today. The messages.
No, I was just laughing at him. I think he.
Hello, let me know if something went wrong Friday. I'm in Orlando. I came to find you. Dang. So you went back home. I get it. On the way to your house, I'm gonna show you something crazy. Oh, that's crazy. She said, "You must have the wrong woman. Stop being crazy. You're not in Orlando." On God, I am. Show me. I got the right woman. The woman got me hyped to disappear. I'm getting my hair done. Don't act crazy. Where do I live? Man, stop that.
She got him
You
low. She kept it real.
you don't like what he say? You like crazy. You don't like oh, okay. You don't like chill. Because ignoring me for weeks is crazy. I'm 25 minutes from your house. I'm gonna be in your drive. Does this man know he little baby? Little baby, do you know you little baby, bro? Like, okay. I'm gonna be in the driveway. I don't like crazy at all. I'm a grown woman. Stop that. If you miss me, just say that. Well, you could have just told me what it was instead of ignoring me. This man got kids. Ignore me. Ignoring me mean I'm gonna pull up and find me. Of course I miss you. I had my hopes all up and then see no response. No, it doesn't. Stop cosplaying a crazy man because you think I like that. I like peace and love. At this point, you can't like peace and love. That's all. I've been trying to give you, so explain to me why all of a sudden you cut off. Maybe I won't come to your house if I got an understanding. I'm gonna be honest with you. I didn't cut you off because I don't really f with you. I just felt like it was disrespectful on my end to take it that to that point of sharing my body with you when I used to mess with Bo. Ooh. I
This
don't
is
know your relationship with him, and I'm not that type of woman. Well, I definitely respect that on all levels. But at this point, it's too effing late for all that. LOL. And both my little brother, no matter what. It ain't that type of situation though. He said, I've told Bo I'm on your body though. Not since we met. Before I met you, when I seen him with you, I told him that's my dream woman. It's not too late. Oh, this is she just for the team. Definitely too late. My soul already attached. Oh Lord. You want to put Bo in a group message so I can confess my love? Oh no. She said no. And then she put some laughing emojis, I guess. She said, stop doing that. You're funny. We're grown. LOL, you know I wouldn't do that, but that's how serious I am, though. We too grown for you to be cutting me off. Like, come on, we too grown for that. Bro, why is he begging? You made freestyle. Okay. We too grown for that to be cutting me off. Like, come on now, we too grown for that. I'm in a space right now where I'm keeping my body to myself.
Hey man,
So unless you want a really good friend, there's no point in continuing to speak. I want everything, whatever come with. All right, bro. Was it that good? I guess it was.
he
I'm
expressed
confused
his
as to
love.
why you coming at me like this, though. I ain't coming at you on no sex stuff. I'm really just trying to get to know you. Oh, yeah, that's my bag. Like, deeply.
Like
We can
deeply.
be friends. If that's what I got to do. Nah, I don't do that. I don't be lying. If I want the box, I'm going to say I want the box. I ain't going to lie. I don't manipulate like that. We can be friends if that's what it got to be. But I'm telling you, I'm not trying to be your freaking friend. I'm 2 minutes away from your house too. By the way, you don't even know where I live. She said, "Watch." What the heck?
That's crazy.
He said, "Watch."
You don't know where I live. Watch.
I hope your people's not there. She said, "What people's?" And then she said, "It's been 2 minutes." Okay, so is that it? That's the whole message. Oh well, it's some more. Dang, where is that? Oh, is this boat?
I don't even. Oh yeah. Yeah, she screenshotted both of them. I think.
Okay.
Yeah, I didn't read those ones, but I saw the little baby.
It's my first time reading this. Uh, boat, confess my love. Stop that, you too funny. Uh, LOL. You know I wouldn't do that, but that's how serious I am, though. We too grown to be cutting y'all. Okay, we read those. I want everything to come with it. I ain't on no sex stuff. Woo, woo. Why you cut me off for? Okay, all right. Whoever. Okay, it's been 2 minutes. Crazy. Whoever you cut me off for. Oh well. If so, what? That was my answers to what people. Oh, if you can help me get my dream car, you can have me forever. That's like the easiest thing you could have said. Oh my goodness. I don't want y'all ever rapping about I don't pay for no. I don't want to hear that no more. I don't want to hear no rappers rapping. I don't pay. I ain't never had to pay no more. That's like the easiest thing you could have said. Like, come on now, that's easy. What kind of car is that? I'll cut everybody in the world off. I'll delete Instagram. Oh, dang. She got him like this? because that Instagram is show up, and I mean forever. You know what exactly to say, huh? She said RR Kalanian 2025, and it can't be a striker or Porsche or GT RS5
She got the
2025 and pink.
fans. That's crazy.
Yo, she had the Christmas list, wasn't it?
It's a Cullinan.
Cullinan. Oh,
Yeah.
my bad, Mo. Different tax bracket. Double R Cullinan 2025, and it can't be a striker or a Porsche GTR S3 2025 in pink. And he put the laughing emojis. See, you've been dealing some real BS, striker. Like I ain't gonna lie, it's an insult. My ex was a scammer. I've been with him for a few years. I definitely was used to BS. He said, "Yeah, see, I don't know. Dang, these screen like y'all gotta go in order, bro. I'm trying to be nosy." Uh, the ex was a scammer. Oh, and I love that you smart. You went for the highest cards on the market. Hard eyes. Oh man, I don't want to hear y'all rapping about being P player. Man, don't call nobody lame again in no song, bro. The Porsche is a better investment though. I'm usually a pink slip type of dude, but you picked the big stuff. I'm gonna have to get you a little note, but it's definitely attainable today. All caps. I'm gonna be honest. I can pay the monthly payment too. I just can't put a down payment on it. Okay, on nothing right now. And then she said I was gonna get one of those eventually. Just had to shake some more booty. We getting somewhere. I got the down payment part. He said, I don't want nobody seeing you shaking your bro. She's an OF model. He said, just shake it for me. Okay, then. Bro, they going against everything they rap about. I'm sorry. I was like, this is just crazy. Okay, well, then you have to pay the car off. I can do that for real. That's easy, mama. But dang, you must hear bad about this. Like you hear I'm a trick or something. Like how you even get to that? No, I just want to know you can make these things possible and a normal person can't. My phone died. I actually haven't heard anything about it if you don't ask. Okay, I'll take that. Get you a sitter for when? Tonight. Okay, where you at? Miami. And then she sent them a picture and he said doll face, eye emoji, heart eye emojis. That's crazy, bro. I ain't gonna lie. I can't believe I read that and I can't believe what he was saying in there. Any reactions, fellas?
Yeah, so it's a few different quotables in there. My soul is already attached. Great line right there. Listen, we talked about this on here before. Like this is like normal. I'm not gonna say normal because I feel like she kind of popping on the OnlyFans, like in that type of market. But yeah, like this is the tricking era. Like it's easier. I don't know. I'm kind of lost for words a little bit just because there's so much happening in that text messages right there. Like, where do you, if you go ask a man for a car, right? First off, asking a man for a car in general is crazy. Like for somebody that you not seriously involved in, but like going straight to the Rolls Royce Cullinan is like you don't want just like a Toyota Corolla to start off with. Like so we going straight to the Royce, like that's the price. And then Lil Baby being comfortable with that is also kind of, I'm not judging him, you know what I'm saying? But it's like, I got to be real. If I had a certain amount of money, and there's definitely certain women I would like, I'd spend a bag on. I don't know if I'd buy a Rolls Royce, but there's definitely a few that I would see what they was charging, you know. But he seems like he really loved this woman. I think the nastiest part of that whole exchange is him saying, do you want me to put them both in a group chat to confess my love? Like that's where it's like, all right, you might have crossed the line with that one right there.
I don't know why she thought because she slept with Bolt that Lil Baby was finna care. That was the part that, like, I mean, there's a lot of crazy stuff after that, but that's where this all started. I'm like, I would not, because it's not like Lil Baby and Bolt are best friends, first off. Even if they were, I'm like, Bolt don't care about you like that. You ain't, I guess in a sense, it's like, I don't even know, because I'm going to say it's not like you, Mariah the Scientist, where he had like a real relationship with you, It was just, but even then, I'm sure he don't Boat is not the person to care. You can just tell just from the way he talks that it's like, bruh, like I'm not stressing none of these girls, you know. So you want to go hit her, you know. Um, but yeah, but I mean, overall, yeah, I think he definitely put a lot of pressure that he didn't need to. I feel on trying to bag her, trying to get it because there's a lot of baddies out there, bro. But I mean, hey, her stuff do look crazy though. I ain't gonna hold you. I did see like I saw a clip of who she was, and I was like, okay, I see the vision, but at the same time, it's like, bro, it's a lot of women that are about just as bad that you could probably go do less work for, but at the same time, it'd be like, hey man, this the one I want. I got to see what it's talking about. He probably already talked about, hey, that shit was hidden, So ain't no telling.
Yeah, my bad, bro.
Nah, you good. The thing I want to say is, oh, you must have heard I'm a trick or something. Tricking is as cheap as $100. Tricking is as cheap as $40. A car note, a down payment on a new car. I don't want to hear y'all talking about no tricks ever again. I want to hear y'all talking about y'all ain't keeping the P. I don't want to hear y'all talking about I ain't never had to pay for it. She give it to me easily on the platter. I don't want to hear none of them lines no more. It's the same way we was talking about J. Cole when J. Cole say I'm the best rapper hands down. I flick a rapper with my hand like a fun of this and that. And we said, shut up, J. Cole. You backed out from the battle. Every man that rap about getting it easily and she give it to him and you had to pay for it and I got it for free. I don't want to hear them lines no more.
I mean, there are still some women that will you give it up to Lil Baby. But I mean, at the same time, Lil Baby ain't never said he don't be tricking. He just said he be tricking in different ways. Like I think one of his most notable lines about tricking is talking about, I buy you a business, stuff like that, where, he'll like, I get you pink slips, and he living up to his raps right now. You feel me? He definitely, he said, I'll get that pink slip. It ain't nothing. So
my bad. I just wanted to also say the thing about the Jada. Like I understand why Jada would be so upset about Lil Baby and stuff. Like, because not only was he cheat, like look how much effort he puts into cheating. Like this is a lot of effort, and then this probably way after he's single. But I can assume like he was putting this amount of effort into the girls he really wanted to when he was with Jada.
I mean, he was at a different level when he was with Jada. I think right now he got to put in a little bit more effort than he did back in about 2019, 2020. If we're going to keep it a buck, like the effort from about 2018 to about, I give you early 2022. This would have been a lot easier. I think she would have definitely slid for him a lot quicker. But now my boy he's in a different light as far as being an artist. So it doesn't mean the same to be like, oh, I had sex with Lil Baby as it would have meant at one point in his career. Like just to keep it a buck. So I mean, maybe when he was with Jada, he didn't put in as much effort because he didn't have to. But now, yeah, definitely. I say, yeah, she probably get a bunch of rappers in her DMs all the time anyway. So it's like, yo, yeah, you Lil Baby, but what is that really gonna do for me? Because I mean, I think at this point, I don't know, it's debatable. Boat might be a bigger artist than Lil Baby right now. So, that's why I don't know. Like, I think I see more about Boat on a day to day, and I think. I don't know. And I think his music is constantly growing as opposed to Lil Baby. I feel right now I don't know. They always talk about how he's on a decline. That's what I mainly hear about Lil Baby and his rap career, how his career is on a decline as opposed to Boat has constantly been elevating. And people feel like he's on a run right now. because he do make a lot of good songs. I rock with Boat more than I ever did previously. So I don't know. It's tough. It's tough to say. I don't know if he finna Boat ain't finna headline no tours like no big arena tours like Lil Baby. I don't even know if Lil Baby gonna really sell out a full arena these days. He'll do it in like a few major cities, but it ain't gonna be the same.
I mean, like you said, she probably does have athletes and rappers in her DM all the time, so she probably used to it. But at the same time, there is like, bro, there's so many beautiful women out here that only got like 2, 3, 4, 5,000 followers that would fuck a rapper much less famous and successful than Lil Baby. Like women be excited to fuck, I ain't gonna name a rapper, but women be excited to fuck like local underground rappers that be popping, you know what I'm saying? So like I feel like Lil Baby could probably slide up in a lot of these women's DMs that's not as, you know, that wouldn't be as used to that lifestyle and would be able to more times than not be able to do his thing probably without having to buy a Rolls Royce. But
Well, I think the reason why you go to the popping girls is because like you would assume the popping girls they kind of a little more used to that lifestyle, so they won't be so quick to expose you like as a as a popping artist with a girl who isn't popping. Say she got a couple thousand, the same girls you were describing, not even a couple thousand. Say it's just a couple hundred. She still be quick to, what I'm saying, post on her story like, oh, look who is in my, she'll even post you looking at her story, you know. So I think that's the point of going to like the more popping girls and stuff like that. The girls who already have a platform and are famous and stuff.
in theory, I get what you're saying, but I don't know. I mean, to each his own. If the heart wants what the heart wants. So if that's you know, she not ugly at all. She bad, but it's like, bruh, do you, especially in Atlanta, dog? Like, do you could, bro, Lil Baby could go to like, it'd be beautiful women at like Publix in Atlanta. You know what I'm saying? Like Whole Foods. He could literally just walk in and like, bro, I feel like he could just clean up, in real life. I don't know if this would be the route that I would go, but it's not my money. It's not my so, if that's what he on, that's what he on, I guess. It was just some nasty lines in there as far as the dialogue. But hey, shout out to the OF models.
Yeah, shout out to them, man. They still, they making it happen.
Are
Yeah, I
OF
think some of
models new rappers? That was a joke. I'm sorry. I'm
OF models are new
the streamer joke. Are streamers the new rappers? Are OF models?
OF models be making more than the rappers sometimes.
Sometimes, and only some. Like I think OF is a facade. OF is darn near like Stake, bro, and Stake like the gambling site
Uh-huh.
because it's like you see so many girls who are like millionaires and like rich off of OF, and it's like most of y'all on OF are not gonna become it. Like you gotta. That's why we was talking to Mo and I was talking about the whole Ben thing where he was like kind of managing quote unquote OF models. Low key, it is kind of difficult to break through the industry because just like everything else, it's like a saturated space. So everybody's on there. So it's like, what's gonna make you stand out from these other 100,000 women who also posted today?
Yeah, you kind of had to catch that wave like 2019, 2020, somewhere around there.
Really, the 2020, like 2021. I think those 2 years because when everybody was inside in COVID, you getting all that stimmy money, and people getting them unemployment checks. All you doing is sitting in the crib. Yeah, that's when it was going crazy. But
I know girls who were doing it back then and doing it since before then and still only made, what I'm saying, a certain amount of money where they still needed the job, still needed to go to school. You know what I'm saying? And they had like a few thousand followers, and I know people who is now they growing and everything like that. They got a lot of mad followers, 50,000, 100,000. And you know what I'm saying? They still need some help. You know what I'm saying? So
Yeah, I mean, but that's why, you know, as we were talking about with the whole Ben situation, it was crazy, you know, because he was low key pimping them girls, but just even in realistically in prostitution, that's why you have a pimp to kind of. There's a reason these girls have pimps, you know. It's not only for protection, but you know, it helped them get their clientele and guide them and everything to get to a certain point where they can produce money, you know. It also is, you know, like I'm not condoning pimping. I'm not saying it's right or nothing, but I'm just saying realistically though, that is some of the stuff that goes into being a pimp, you know, and that's why I like the same thing. Cause me, like background, me and Rashad was talking about how Ben the Dom when he was managing, he was low key pimping these girls, and um, but you know, at the same time, like bro, Jelani, he was talking about it on his stream, bro. This man said the lowest amount of money during that time that he would make a week, like on a bad week, was 30K. And
What
he, huh?
what time, like what era was this happening? Like, did you say what years or like what time this was happening at?
I guess like yeah, like 2020, 2021. I think from like
we
around I don't know exactly. Uh
you want me to play it?
yeah, you can go ahead.
I stopped managing was because I felt like it was just like unethical at the end of the day. And I battle with myself sometimes because I'd be like, nigga, you got some couple M's out there, then you quit like a scripper. Like, you know how some of them scrippers be like, I'm gonna dance for a little bit, then stop. Well, bitch, your ass is out there and you did it. Like, yeah, I was managing and and it was just a whole bunch of like freaked out ass shit that I was like witnessing and like puppeteering, and we made a shit ton of money. But like after a while, I was like, bro, this is not it, fool. Like, this is just not it, bro. They take out the money on Sundays because I had all my girls on the schedule. It's like a lunch, like you know, Carly, Ashley, Samantha, Karen. On Sunday they take out the bread. On Tuesday it hit. Every Tuesday I'm making at least 30K at minimum. 30 to 60K every Tuesday. And then if I'm getting new girls, a new fine little shit might pop off. She my new star pupil. Then another one, then the other one then got jealous. Oh hell, why are you always with her? And I gotta take her to dinner. I gotta make sure they happy, man. You used to do that with me. Bitch, your money ain't hitting like her. But let's figure it out. Like a good pep coach. That's how it all started. 6 months, 8 months in, the bitch done ran up 800,000. I don't see like what you do. Like I'm putting in all the work, I'm getting fucked all the time, and what are you doing? Bitch, I'm the one put you on. Yeah, but I'm the one having to do this all every day, blowjobs and fucking JOI. JOI means jack off instructional check. Just if y'all don't know that. Just so y'all know. Hey, I'm out the game. Check. I'm just letting y'all know what this is because it's all coming back right now. But they be like, I'm the one that's doing all. Bitch, who put you on? I don't think I don't want our business to go in. Bitch, you about to scratch me out. Bitch, don't make me come get you, because I come get you. And then I found myself being somebody I didn't want to be, man. I didn't want to be.
Yeah, I mean that sounds it's legal, I guess, but that does sound like pimping and prostitution, you know, just as a concept.
But he was saying that the way he was getting the girls on was like he popped off the first girl, and then from there, she would collab with another girl, and then they just had them like constantly collabing, so that it's now they're like one is like the smaller one is now receiving, you know, the views from the bigger ones like fan base, and you know, constantly growing each one, and now they're all making money. So, but hearing him explain it like that, where it's just like, you know, you're bringing in one girl and then having her collab with another girl. And that's the thing, you know, probably with some of the girl for Rashad was talking about, during that time who wasn't able to really pop off where they're making a crap ton of money. It's probably like they more probably just stayed to them, did stuff by themselves, and ain't no telling how deep they wanted to get into the content, because a lot of girls they made the OnlyFans, but it was like, all right, where are you? How deep are you trying to get into this? Because you gotta really somewhat promote yourself, because people ain't. Well, I don't know exactly how OnlyFans work, but I'm assuming they can't just find you. It's not like an explore page for OnlyFans. So it's like promoting yourself and as I said, like stuff like that. It's like how deep, and then what type of content you really like. Yeah, you have a couple videos here and there that you're doing something crazy, but then it's like how often are you trying to do that? So, but yeah, man. But I don't know. It's crazy, but yeah, them OF girls. It was the wave at one point. I think it's definitely been slowed down. It's of course, there's still women who be making a crap ton of money off of it, but I think at this point, it's not the boom isn't booming as it was back during like pandemic time.
Go ahead, Mo.
Well, I was just gonna say, yeah, it just ain't booming the same way. So if you getting into OnlyFans now, I mean, I don't even know. I mean, you can still pop. It could still pop off, I guess.
No, people are always gonna be horny.
Yeah,
I say, but as many jokes as I gave Lil Baby just now, there is one or a former, I guess you could say, one OF girl I would give a car to, bro. Kalani Rogers, bro. I'm buying Kalani Rogers a car, bro. I'm sorry, man. I ain't gonna lie. Kalani said she want a car. Oh yeah. What you want, the double R, the Camry? What you call it, Mo?
Cullinan.
Cullinan.
I thought you said Camaro at first.
You want the pink double R Cullinan? Oh, no problem. Say less.
Nah, facts.
Nah, I didn't think you was gonna say a name, but nah, there's definitely. I don't know if I'd go as far. I'd have to have like Jeff Bezos money to do like a Rolls Royce. I'm not gonna do that as a regular millionaire, but no, it's definitely a few that like. I feel like I've said this on here multiple times. When I get a certain amount of money, like I got a list. And it's not even like I don't have self-confidence to be able to like approach a woman without money, because like I've been broke most of my life. But if I did have a certain amount of money, like I'm because I think the thing about having money is that allows you to just get straight to the point. Sometimes it ain't even about whether or not you can or can't without the money. It's just like the convenience of it. Like I'm not really trying to spit game all day and take you on dates. Sometimes it's just better off to just ask, like, what does it cost? But it seems like Baby really liked that girl though.
I don't think so.
I think her stuff is crazy. As I said, like excuse my language, her ass is dumb.
It is.
Y'all seen? Don't get this lost in all of this. This girl was. You seen that little compilation her ex put out of her?
Oh yeah, no, she was wilding.
Yeah, this girl throwing the TV on his head. She jumping in the middle of the street. She grabbing the knife and on 911 talking about he trying to hit me, and she holding the knife. Man, it ain't worth it, Lil Baby. I tell you, bro.
Didn't she like pistol whip herself or something like that?
Yeah, and then try to say that he did it, and man, that girl.
Oh, this is that girl. I didn't know this was the same girl.
That's the only way I heard of her.
When I saw that, I just didn't click on the videos. I was just I saw that it was some OF girl, but I didn't know this was the same girl.
Yeah, she was on her a thin line between love and hate type. You know what I mean? for the that's an old nigga movie reference right there. But
no facts. Yeah, sweet. That's why you can't. We couldn't deal with them girls under 25
because they wouldn't even got you'd have to open Netflix and show them that movie.
Right. Right. But speaking of money, I had went to one of the Real Housewives of Atlanta. I went to her son is friends with somebody I know. And so I went to her house this past weekend for like a little birthday party. Bro, that house was so nice, bro. But it made me think, I was like, bro, if I had a house like this, you're talking about like paying, bro, you had a girl just pull up to that crib, bro, you ain't got to pay for nothing. Because she's gonna come up off it just off of the vibes, bro. Like the, nice jacuzzi and, it was like a 4-story house and with nice pool and all that stuff. And yeah, but when you were saying that, I was like, bro, if I had a crib like that, bro, I already know it's just off of the vibes of I'm putting you in a place that you ain't never been before. You gonna it's funny. I had a homegirl that I know that I was there with, and man, old girl was in there acting unusual, in there doing things she ain't never did before, and yeah, going MIA. Like she usually be like chilling, but yeah, she found the right one and was in there doing some things. I was like, oh my gosh, I know you was on this type of time. But as I said, I think it was just the crib. You sitting here by the you got the nice little classic azul tables in the middle of the pool. You got the jacuzzi running. It's like, I guess why not? But hey, but that's what I'm saying. You get to a certain level. I think it's like with certain girls, you ain't gonna really have to put down the check. It's just like just show them something they ain't never seen before. Put them in new environments. They're gonna be like, yeah, I'm gonna come off it.
But yeah, that was my point when I was saying like bro, Lil Baby could literally, like, he could literally walk into wherever the fine woman is at. He could walk in, just have his jewelry on, and he could just walk up to one of these fine women. It could be five fine women like in the whole building. If he just walks up to all those 5 and he's like, yo, do you want to, let's say you got a Lambo outside, like if he just asked him like, do you want to go ride in a Lambo real quick? Like at least 2 of those 5 are going without knowing anything else, without asking no questions of like where are we going, or just for like the picture opportunity. Like at least 2 out of those 5 are going. So yeah, as far as him, like I said, I ain't judging nobody for tricking because I understand, but it probably don't really require all that. Like the most point, like the money definitely makes people, not just women, but just people in general, act very unusual. Like grown men will act groupied out for a dude with money the same way a lot of women will.
Facts. Yo, it's funny. When I went to DR, bro, there was the resort that I stayed at. It was like all inclusive. So, it's like literally inside the place. Like this was my first ever all inclusive, but from what I heard, that most places don't do this. But literally they had like a little dispenser for alcohol in your room that they refilled on the daily. So you could wake up and then just like hit like a little dispenser, like it's a little water dispenser of vodka, gin, tequila, or it was a 4th one too. So everybody lit, and pools everywhere. But then you can walk onto the beach from the resort. So it's like, and then the beach was kind of, it's like kind of in like a little different area. So it's not where everybody from the resort finna be able to see you. So man, I had met this one dude that was out there. I went with one of my exes, and when me and Buddy, like, we became cool because, like we're both, I was there for like a week. He had came, I think, like a day or 2 before I did. And you see the same people all throughout the whole week, you know. So is so you become cool with people. So I was talking with him, and he was just like, "Bruh, man, I done hit so many girls out on that beach, bruh, because they ain't never had sex on the beach before." And it was just off of the fact, because after hour you could just walk straight out there. And he'll tell me, he was just like, yeah, the fact that like these girls never did nothing like that, so they were just going. And I was like, that's crazy. But yeah, and yeah, I ain't gonna hold you, bro. Like, yeah, me and my ex had went out there one night. Man, it's the beach is a vibe, bro. Like,
Yeah, it's the novelty of the situation, because especially if you don't live somewhere by the water, that's it could be what's that lake in Ackworth? Is that Lake Alatuna?
yeah.
Yeah, if you could be out there by yourself, you could probably crack something just off the string.
Nah, facts. Like, yeah, like, oh, but you ain't never did this in the woods, huh? Like,
right? Yeah. Like, yeah, no, that's definitely it's certain environments that I feel like.
No, you got to go to Lake Lanier and say it was to die for.
That's a bar right there. You know what's crazy though? Like, and this is on the same topic, because I was actually thinking about this. If you like, people talk about Lake Lanier, like, yo, it's dangerous. I'm never going there, bro. If niggas find out you got a boat, if you got a boat on Lake Lanier, and it's like a real boat where like people could come on to and they could drink and party, bro, they coming out there to Lake Lanier, bro. Like, black people don't turn down boat invites like that.
I don't know about that one, big brother.
All right, okay. If you was in town and I say, yo, I got a boat, we having a party, I got the girls lined up, bro, you popping out, bro.
Lake Lanier?
We saying that right now, but if it was like 4th of July weekend or Memorial Day weekend or something like that, and I said, like, yo, I got the boat, I got the drinks, I got the girls lined up, it's a situation. You go think about it for a second, like, it might be a move you want to make.
I'll be out there. We on Lanier turning up another notch.
That's what I'm saying. Everybody's saying like, no, I'm not fucking with Lake Lanier. I done seen people take some boats on Lake Lanier and seen people out there.
There's no chance I'm going.
Under no circumstance?
Under no circumstance.
I mean, I never swim out there or go out there by myself or nothing like that, but
Childish Gambino final concert at Lake Lanier, I will not be there.
That's where he having a concert out there?
No, I was just saying, even
if he had, oh nah. What if Kalani Rogers hit you and was like, yo, I'm at Lake Lanier, you trying to pull up?
She ain't about to do nothing with me when I go out there anyway.
Oh man, see, you giving up. You giving up too easy.
100%.
Nah, I mean, I don't think I've never been to Lake Lanier now that I think about it.
Yeah, I never been out there either.
I think I've been out there before. Like, but I don't know if I've ever been on the water, but I've been out to like, the beach / park, whatever you want to call it, thing.
I'm a Cobb baby. We stick to Lake Alatuna.
Actually, I don't know where I've been, to be honest. Like, I cannot remember. But I remember I was really young, and it was one of them joints. So it probably was like, I don't know. I can't remember. I shouldn't have lied. Like, I apologize to the listeners. I don't remember. I think I might have when I was like 4 or something, but I can't remember that joint.
No, we used to go to Sun Valley Beach back in the day. That's not the same, but
what is Sun Valley Beach? That's where the little man-made like water park thing.
Yeah.
I think I went out there once. I went out there one time when I was like a kid with my sister. I don't remember it at all, but I do remember going out there one time.
Yeah, it used to be in Powder Springs. I think they had one closer to the city too. There might have been more than one, but I know the one in Powder Springs, my grandma used to take us there like a few different times during the summer. But it was basically, like you said, like a man-made water park. Like they had like the the wave pool and the slides and all that stuff. But it was dope though. They shot the Marco Polo video over there, Soulja Boy and Bow Wow.
Hey,
Yeah,
Hey.
I love that video.
Right.
real history right there.
Facts. Yeah, y'all see did y'all see any of the video submissions for the Somebody Loves Me video?
Oh,
No, wait, hold on. Who I'm about to ask an old nigga question. Whose song is that right there?
The Drake and Party song. Somebody
Oh
Loves Me.
yeah. Okay, yeah. I forgot that they were doing because I thought it was Drake, but I was like, because I know he was doing like a contest for. Was that the one he was doing with Kai Cenat?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, it's still in connection with Kai. I don't know what exactly he plans to do just yet. Because he posted today on his story that he was like, yeah, me, Kai, and Party. And he like tagged Kai in it, saying that we wanted to bring this together to give people opportunity to bring their vision to life and stuff. And yeah, I went through them like all of them. They're just submissions. They're not the actual videos. So the one that just showed was actually my personal favorite. The girl with the blonde hair. Like I watched them, like they're all like a minute each. So it wasn't nothing to really go through them and watch them. But some of them were just, some of them were kind of, actually, some of them were pretty mid. There's a clear difference between some that's like, okay, this was a good concept. Some were just like, I don't really know where you're trying to go with this. Some were AI. Like this one was supposed to be, and like they give you descriptions of what is the concept of the video. And as I said, it's only a minute. You only get a minute to really bring it together. But like I said, the one right there where the girl was like in the wedding dress and stuff is like a girl who's like a stripper in Houston, stripper in Texas or whatever. And then it goes into her mind of all these different scenarios of where she's in love and whatnot. Like that one was really good. And then the other one that was really good was like this, it was like a 70-year-old man who was going back to all the spots him and his wife had fell in love at. And then it's like him looking and then seeing like them young, like on like at a beach, at their like the little spot where they were like dancing and stuff like that. And then at the end, it's like him holding his wife's hand. And I was like, oh man, that was a little bit of a tearjerker. But yeah, but as I said, some were good, some were just like, I guess you did something, I ain't gonna crap on nobody's idea, creativity, and shout out to everybody who, did their thing and put something together. But yeah, some were just definitely better than others.
Kai Cenat deleted his GNX reaction.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh wow.
I checked to see if It's Not Like Us one was still up. It's still up, but the GNX one has been deleted.
Oh wow.
It's been a lot of streamers that when the beef was going on, they were mostly leaning towards Kendrick, and I feel like recently they've been just out of nowhere starting to be more like pro. And then on the flip side, Academics was mostly on Drake's side. I feel like recently he's been more like, I'm not gonna say leaning towards Kendrick, but he's been more critical of Drake than he was when the beef was happening. I thought it was funny that he just realized, that's what I'm talking about. He just realized that Drake had a hairpiece, like that Drake. Because I noticed that too. I didn't know if anybody was gonna say anything, but like Drake went from having the small Jewish afro to having R. Kelly braids in like 6 weeks out of nowhere.
Right.
And he cut them off, and he took the braids out and went right back to the.
Because this nigga online is capping like he got a full head of hair, man. He got the Steve Harvey. What the hell? Drake got acting like he got braids, and 2 months ago he got a high top? Oh, hell no. Drake's a fraud. That's some fraud shit. That's fraudry. What? This whole time, I'm thinking I'm growing my hair out. He growing his hair out. We've been growing this shit since almost since Certified Lover Boy. Look at the growth. I've been hoodwinked, bamboozled, led astray, all to find out that Aubrey got a buzz cut. Oh no. Chat. I realize Drake's a fraud.
No, that's, you know what I was thinking about? Like, Fetty Wap was the first rapper that popped this off. Because Fetty Wap had like the low, it wasn't even like a high top. It was just like I guess like a fade or whatever, but his hair was a little bit taller at the top. And then one day he just popped out with dreads, but like he was so popping at that time that we just didn't question it. Nobody complained. Nobody was like, oh, that's weird that he just got, and he had I think it was he had like a story behind the hair too. I think it belonged to somebody else that like meant something to him. So he kind of had like an excuse. But he was the first, we got to give him his flowers. He was the first rapper to get hair extensions out of nowhere.
Nah, facts. Yeah, you know, everybody seem like a lot of people sitting here with artificial stuff these days, man. You know.
Well, yeah, man. That didn't used to be the thing. Like,
facts.
It's a lot of fake hair, fake abs. Moneybagg Yo got the whole package. He got the facial surgery, he got it all.
Hey, if you a man getting facial surgery, bro, you gotta stop. Like that's crazy. I ain't gonna lie, like the facial surgery is worse than the fake abs as a man. Because as a man, first of all, you can get away with the dad bod, with the terrible build as a man. Like you can't as a woman. As a man, you can work around it. Be a little funny, make some money, do this. You can get around with having a terrible build. But the face is crazy. Be a man.
I kind of get it though. Just because you in the entertainment industry, it depends on what you do. Because like it's certain.
Moneybagg need to be pretty?
Bro, it's just, it can be a boost to your career if women do find you attractive.
I'll say one person. No Diddy. Okay. Maybe a little Jack Harlow. It benefit him if he had the alleged surgeries that they said he had on his face.
Yeah.
Because that was a large part of Jack Harlow's brand on his way to the top. Was, ooh, Jack Harlow, this fine white boy, according to the woman, to the point where he named one of his albums, Honey, the kids are home, come home, the kids miss you. And he said because his Instagram comments was literally just that.
Yeah, so it's like if you I feel even with Drake, like the crazy thing is when Drake, like his first 5 years of his career, like that 2009 to like, he was out before 09, but like that 2009 to like 2014 era of his career, as popular as he was, you never really heard girls like going crazy over Drake. They liked him because he was popping and he made music for women. So like from that standpoint, women did like him, but like you never really heard women like, they wasn't talking about Drake, like they was talking about like Michael B. Jordan or something like that. And then I feel like out of nowhere, he when he grew the beard out and he first got the ab surgery, but we didn't know it was ab surgery. That's when you really start to see girls kind of start to, you know, like outwardly go crazy over him a lot. So, you know, I guess it can help you. It's just the fake abs look so, they just look so crazy and they look so distinct. Like it don't look real. Because I think French Montana had got him too. But it's like, bro, I'm not like you French Montana, bro. I know you don't have real abs, bro. You're not in the crib doing like, I know French Montana not in the crib doing like ab workouts, you know. But yeah,
What is it, the braids?
Exactly. You know, it's an interesting era right now.
I hurt your feelings. You don't work with me no more. Okay.
I feel like I say that every episode, but it really is. It's a lot. Like if you just scroll social media for one day, you'll be like, bro, this is a wild time that we live in.
No, for real. Yeah, it's wild out here, man. But shoot, it's you know, we can sit here and judge it as men, especially as 30-year-old men, but these women don't care.
No, they
So
don't.
so it's just we could judge it all we want, but realistically, the women, they don't really care because a lot of women are very pro cosmetic surgery anyway. So I think that's where they don't feel as they don't really they're not going to sit here and judge a man who's doing cosmetic surgery on himself because they're doing the same thing in so many different ways. Whether it be consistent like Botox and consistent like stuff for their breast or their butt or sculpting their own abs and whatnot. So I think it's a crazy time we live in, and you would think like as a man like why y'all even doing this stuff, but it's like shoot, you want to look better for the women and the women don't care, then it's like hey, go ahead, get it done. I personally wouldn't do none of that, especially I remember I was talking to I got when I used to work with a girl who did like worked with Botox machines. And she was telling me about how just how prevalent it is. And actually I was like, all right, so if I was to come in, like what would you think I need done? She's like, well, you got the little wrinkles on your forehead and this, that, and the other, and just start pointing out stuff. And I was just like, but none of that seems like that big of a deal, but then there's a lot of guys who, you start really pointing out the flaws in them, they're going to be like self-conscious about it now, and it's like, well, shoot, I guess let me get let me get myself right, but it's really like the women in the Botox, I think it's crazy. I didn't know as many women were doing that, especially at like in their 20s, early 30s, that I've met that get the Botox. And it's easier for me to tell now because women who get Botox, I don't know if y'all met too many women with Botox. But you meet a woman with Botox, she don't have no facial expressions. And and it's just like, they'll be sitting there and like they'll smile, but it's just like you'll look their as I said, like that's what they got done with their forehead where it don't really make no wrinkles no more. So they can't really make the like if you smile and your eyes get expressive, it can't no more. That's what they got all that tightened up. So you'll see them like laugh, but it's just like it'll be like, all right, did you really find this funny? And it's like, yeah, but it's just like they face should be kind of stuck where it is. So yeah, and as I say, you start to as you meet more women who do that, then you'd be like, oh, okay, this is why y'all be looking like this sometimes, that just kind of deadpan a lot of times. But
Yo, the lip fillers right now, bro,
yeah,
that's gotten so out of hand, dog. And it be women that's like beautiful, like women like you don't have to do a single like you good like, but I don't know. I think it's one. I think it's peer pressure. Two, I think it's like I think surgery for women might be the same as like it's almost like if you see a dude wearing a certain pair of Jordans and look fresh, and then you want those pair of Jordans. Like I think that's I just think they're doing it just to keep up with the other girls that's popping that they see on the gram because it's not as like it's. I don't seen girls get lip fillers where it's like, yo, you was already a 10. Now, see, in her case, I get it. And in the Kylie Jenner case, I get it. Just because she was so, I get it. I'm gonna just put it like that. I understand. But it'd be women that don't be needing them that I be see getting them. Like in her case, she. I don't say she needed it, but it made more sense just because it's like you were Kardashian. It's a certain level of beauty that's supposed to. I guess that they're supposed to be held to. Even though she was super young when she got her lip fillers, she was like a teenager. But I can understand from her standpoint, but especially when I see black women with them, because black women or black people in general, we naturally have like bigger lips. It's like, bro, you don't even like you don't have to do that. Like they get those features to look like black women. You already naturally got them.
Yeah, but it don't look exactly the way that they want it. And that'd be the thing. I don't know if y'all listen to Poor Minds. They had an episode a couple weeks ago where they went in depth about all the cosmetic surgeries that they do. Could they go like not only do they both have like BBLs and then they got their breasts done and all that stuff, but they also get lip fillers and they get like consistent Botox and stuff like that. And they're just having a very open conversation about all the stuff that they do. And it was interesting. I was like, wow, I did not expect that y'all did all this. And they were talking about they wanted to be open about it because they don't want the women that do follow them to think that their beauty is natural. And it's like, yeah, I'm getting these things done. Not saying they're encouraging women to go do it, but it's just not to, women who are natural. And it's like, why don't I look like that? And it's like, well, she paid for this. Like in their case, they're like, I paid for this. So I want y'all to understand that this isn't just something that we were just born with all. It's like they were both like, we're naturally beautiful, but it's a little stuff that we wanted to do. And, so we consistently keep up with it. And, as I said, like hearing them talk about they get lip fillers, I was like, y'all are black women. Why are y'all getting lip fillers? But, that's what it'd be like. I want them to look even better,
Yeah, shout out to Dre and Nicole. I'm a big fan of your work.
Right.
And
but yeah, so
shout out to Tally from Jokes on You podcast, for sure.
man,
Like, I don't think she got any work done, but we was just talking about fine podcast hosts.
yeah, I hope she never does. I hope she stays exactly how she is. I'm a big supporter.
A big supporter.
A big supporter of her work.
Speaking of, oh my bad. What are you gonna say?
You could go ahead.
I'm about to say, speaking of cosmetic and people getting things done, this is gonna be a very left field conversation. But so I was watching this video of this dude talking about how he had met a person at a wedding, and he said he met the person at the wedding, and it was a person that he perceived to be a guy, but then the guy was like, "Oh, I'm actually a woman transitioning," and so he was like, "Oh," and like said the name was like Jerome or something like that, and then so they had some drinks, and then he was like, have you fully transitioned? Shit, like they was like, nah. And so then he ended up going to the back and then hooking up with this person, because they still have the parts to be able to hook up. But he was like, his homeboys was just like, they caught him and they was like, bro, we knew you was gay, blah, blah, blah. He was like, bro, how am I gay? They still got the parts, Jerome still got it. And like throughout the video, he's like calling them by their name, like Jerome or whatever. And yeah. And so it was just funny. He was just like, bro, like that ain't gay. Like, and I was just like, I don't know how I was like, I don't know. That sounds pretty gay. But at the same time, I guess it ain't, because it's like, it's just like hitting a stud essentially. And you ain't really gay for hitting a stud. But I don't know if that stud goes by Jerome. You feel me? Like, I don't know how I would feel about that. I don't know. It was just interesting, the video I saw. I guess, what are y'all thoughts on that?
I think that's gayer than having sex with an actual man.
Okay, why you say that?
Like, bro, it's just I'm exaggerating, but like, no, that's like that's super gay. Like that's you met this person under the pretense of them being a dude. Like you have to anytime that you have to ask somebody like, do you still have that part down there? You're in too deep at that point. Like it shouldn't even that conversation shouldn't even be taking place for that conversation to take place and then for you to be like because what about this person turned you on to even be aroused enough to do that? Unless you're just literally just putting in anybody if that's the case. If that was your one condition was like, no, well it's not gay because they have the body part, then it's like you'll fuck anybody at that point.
It was just a conversation we had about the Cowboys really like resonated within my heart. And that would made me ask the question, hey, are you a dude or a girl? And that's next thing I knew, he was just in the bathroom. And yeah, I mean,
yeah, like how did that's you can't explain that one. Like that's insane, bro.
Yeah, I don't know. I guess what are your thoughts on it, Rashad?
I think a lot of videos like on social media be like fake, like dudes be telling fake stories to go viral. And I feel like this could be a fake story that dude told to go viral. However, just say for the sake of hypotheticals, Negro theoreticals and stuff like that, I'll say, yeah, man. I mean, I feel like if it's a woman, it was a woman transitioning into a man, right?
Yeah.
But she still had woman parts, and then he hit. She probably looks and dresses like a man already, so it's just like that is like, and she planned on becoming a man. That's just weird, bro. Like, like why was you attracted to that? You know what I'm saying? Like, and it's some pretty lesbians. It's some fine studs for sure, No denying that. But like, I don't know. That's just weird, bro. Like, any woman trying to become a man, bro, like, I would think off top they'd be too manly to even be open to like me trying to hit on them in that type of way because they transitioning to become a man. But I don't know. I don't want to get into all that stuff. I usually get into trouble when I speak on things like this. But
I also feel like dudes who like I know some people joke about it or whatever, but like I feel like dudes that go after studs heavier it's kind of zesty too. Because like, bro, why do you want a masculine?
some studs be fine, bro. Like, and I'm talking about like you know what I'm talking about, right? Like the ones with the dreads, and they and that sometimes they be like showing you they fine. Sometimes BK the Ruler is a good example just because she famous. BK the Ruler is pretty, bro. She's a pretty girl.
So you like studs that look like King Von? No, I'm joking. I'm joking. I'm joking. But no, like I give there's definitely there's some where you could look at it and you could tell like, okay, if she was like if she dressed like a girl, she would be fine. Like if she, you know what I'm saying? I'm not gonna lie and say like there's not something like that, but it's like if you dressing like a boy every time I see you and that's the energy that you give off, that's the way you carry yourself, I'm not about to be attracted to you. Like I'm not.
So you're not about to be attracted to Gio if you knew Gio.
So like you talking about like girls who dress like a boy but still are very feminine presenting at the same time. Like BK the Ruler and Gio, they still got long hair. They still do their hair. Like I think it's more of like the studs with a fade. If me and you got the same barber, you know, I think those are the studs he's talking about. You know, that's where it's just kind of weird. Where if I got a question, if you even a guy or a girl, like hold on, like you know, that's where it's just kind of like, all right, this is. I think that's the weirdness.
But even like the Geo girl, like she's pretty. I get it, but it's like I'm not trying to convert. I'm not trying to convert a stud. Like if that's what you like, I don't know.
You're not on your Playboy Cardi.
Yeah, once you tell me and you dress like you consistently dressing like a boy, even if you are pretty, it's like you going into the homeboy category. I'm not
are you calling Cardi gay?
I'm not gonna call that man gay. I mean, he's done some zesty things in the past as far as
I thought I was gay.
Yeah, I'm a young bitch, but I'm in my prime. Yeah, no, he like he I don't know. I feel like that became a thing in recent years. I really feel like Drewski started it as a joke, and then people started really doing it in real life, where you'll hear dudes talk about like hitting on studs and like really trying to bag. I'm like, bro, I'm not the stud collector. Like, I'm not out here trying to, convert studs into liking. But like you said, there is like I know Coyle Ray used to be gay at one point. Like she's a pretty girl. So there are pretty girls who, um, you know, masculine presenting or studs or whatever. But I don't know. It's just not my thing as far as like going around trying to convert studs into being straight.
Yeah, I remember one time when my homeboy was out at a club, and I was off doing something else, and then I come back, and I see him talking to the stud, and then like I would buy him, and I could hear the conversation. It's like he's flirting, and I was like, bro, what are you doing? And I think a lot of times when the studs that I'm like when I'm usually referring to it is like the ones that are, as I said, clearly like Geo, you wouldn't necessarily know because a lot of girls dress very masculine as it is, and then clearly she wasn't a true stud, if we're just gonna keep it a buck. And but I think, the ones that I said got the fade and everything, or it's like short hair where it's just obvious. Yeah. And my homeboy was talking to a girl like that. And I remember I was just like, bro, what are you doing? It was just like a moment where I was like, what you be on? You feel me? It like had me questioning my homeboy. I ain't gonna lie, because I was just like, I was like, why are you even flirting with her? It like she wasn't like a crazy beautiful girl. Like, everybody's beautiful, but she wasn't like fine. Like, you feel me? It wasn't like, oh, I see you. I see the vision. It was really just kind of like, bro, she slick look like a dude, but you just know she got the parts. But I don't know. It'd be interesting. So I think it'd be, it's some of them guys who be really loving them studs. I think it gives them an opportunity to live out what they really want to live out on the low, low key. But a lot of guys don't be comfortable, even still in 2025, because, I think, have you ever seen, girls talk about, and there was this one episode on, what is it called? On Insecure. Do y'all remember that episode on Insecure where, I'm almost positive Insecure, where I think it was like Issa or one of the girls that was there had met the dude who talked about how he hooked up with like a guy back in college.
Yeah, I think it was Molly. I think it was her character.
Yeah. But just like, but it was just that one time, just to see,
It didn't Tank say that?
What? Nah.
Well, we just put that. we got to be careful putting that out there. You talking about the R&B singer thing?
Yeah.
Did you say
He
yeah.
said,
What did you say?
okay, hold on. Let me look this up on YouTube.
No, well, the reason I remember that episode of Insecure is because it's a scene where she's receiving oral fixation or whatever, and she paused him because she started thinking about him doing that to a dude, and I thought that was hilarious at the time. Like, my sense of humor was kind of childish, but
Nah, like at the time I was watching it with my ex, and then I remember asking her, I was just like, yo, what would you do if you met a guy that was like that, And it was like, nah, like, like she was like, nah, like I definitely wouldn't entertain it. But it made me think though. I think just the realization of like, it's a lot of guys who have probably been in that situation who have done some stuff like that, but they just don't ever bring it up, you know? And, and you know, but that just be the crazy part where it's just like you never, I mean, you know, everybody personal life is their personal life. So it's like it's not for us to know what every person does, but you know, stuff like that though just be I don't know, and like I'll see like little stuff on like social media where girls talk about like it's a lot more gay dudes out here than y'all think, you know. But as I said, but the younger generation, they don't care about none of that though. Like they'll sit here, these dudes be looking real feminine and you know, just to keep it a buck. Like I got a young homeboy that's like 20, 21, 22, something like that. And I remember he took the photos on Instagram. And I remember he came up to me at work one day and he was like, "Hey, bro, yo, do these photos look zesty?" and I remember in my mind, I was like, low key, yeah, you know, but I was just about at the same time I was looking at him, I was like, this ain't too different from how the rest of the males your age be posing in photos. So I was like, it ain't really that bad, you know? And I'm like, I know you be getting girls and stuff. So I'm like, hey, you know, I don't think it's that crazy. But it was a gay dude who came to him and was just like, it was like older gay dude that was just like, yo, these photos look gay, bro. I ain't gonna hold you, you know? And he was just like, what? You know? And that's why he came to me and asked me. But that's why I say, like, I'm like, they be sitting here with like the toe, like, you know, feet in and, you know, just, I don't know. They be posing like bad bitches, bro. And
Cardi had on that thong.
yeah, sweet. That's it, bro. Did y'all see those dudes in Atlanta who was wearing the mini skirts?
I did see that.
Taco apparently wore one. I was surprised to see Taco on one.
Oh, that's crazy. Dang.
I know, like you are a generation. We supposed to be like, look at the youngins.
Yeah, Ohio heroes die.
No, I feel like Uzi and Thug popped for the rappers. They started the zesty wave. Not in a bad way, but
it was so crazy because it was like, you know what, that like you seen dudes trying to flip it and like it's like, you know what, Thug was wearing the dress so he could hide his gun. I was like, all right, bro, all right.
Bro, all these niggas be picking and choosing, bro. If you tough, if people are afraid of you, you can get away with anything. Like right. it don't matter.
Atlanta dudes different. That was really some street stuff for Thug to wear that dress. I was like, bro, come on,
bro. Like. And I'm not even mad. Like I'm a Doug fan. I have no issue with him wearing that. But it like I said, dudes pick and choose when certain stuff is cool. If they're afraid of you or they respect you.
Yeah. Now I remember I definitely initially when he dropped that, I saw the album cover. I was like, this man got on a dress. But I ain't gonna hold you. It did change my perspective when I found out he had the stick under there. I was like, okay. Yeah, I was like, all right, you know. I was like, I guess, you know. I ain't finna say nothing about the dress. You feel me? If I see a dude walking around in a dress, you know, in Atlanta, and you got an AK under there, you got it, big dog. You feel me?
I knew Thug was like a real street dude that people respected. This is back in like 2012, 13, 14, around that time. Like his old Instagram pictures when he used to be calling dudes his lover, or he'd be like, he used to be calling dudes like bae, stuff like that. And you never heard none of them call him gay or like question him or anything like that. That let me know everything I need to know. Like, nah, Thug is real respected in the streets. Because if a normal dude tried to get away with that, they would have been calling him all types of slurs.
Right. Nah, that's a fact. Yeah, I think, you know, it's so crazy. He's so far removed now from all that.
Yeah. It feels like forever ago.
Yeah, you know, you just don't. But I definitely remember you saw him pull it up during the case with some of them guys he was on trial with. He was like, yeah, here with my lover. You know, like we locked in, you know, this, that, and the other. It's like, okay, you know.
He was calling dudes sexy and everything.
Yeah.
That was an era of hip hop when there was people that thought he was gay. But like I said, like when you respect it after a certain point, it's like you can get away with whatever, bro.
Facts. Yeah, man. Yeah. What?
Sure,
Let me try it again.
And then he says, you know what?
It's not for me. Don't like the taste. You see what I'm saying?
Don't like the taste.
We're not talking about chicken. We talking about chicken.
Well, you know what?
Dick in his jaw.
Dick in his jaw.
How you made a bar out of chicken and
Because
dick.
she's an artist at heart. Yeah. It's natural. It comes natural.
But it doesn't mean he's gay. It means he sucked dick twice.
Okay. So.
Okay. Okay. I feel like is if you received it twice, I feel like you might be able to get that off.
No, bro. What?
If you receive
No, bro.
If you received it, I feel like it's more of a you got more of a case than if you. I just feel like if you once you've given it, it's no coming back. Like you made it clear to see
when there's a dude doing it to you, bro. That's crazy.
You think that's crazier?
Yes.
No, bro.
I think they both crazy. They're equally crazy.
Really crazy.
Bro, you looking down, it's a dude down there, bro. You don't need to be nowhere near that area.
Just close your eyes. just look the other way. Like
he said, that man Tank said, I just wanted to see the taste.
Yeah,
no, that's nuts. That's insane.
Yeah,
I told y'all he said it. Go ahead.
Yeah,
bro.
I actually do remember him saying this now. It's I don't know, man. That for me, in my opinion, if you even contemplated it, that's between you and God, I guess, man. I guess it ain't really for me to judge. I mean, because left up to me, I don't know. That's a little gay. That's pretty gay. I ain't gonna hold you. Especially you did it twice. Like but it's look,
look, doing it once and then being like, let me just see just one more time.
Yeah, it's like I don't know, bro. Like I'm 50-50 on it. Like, give me one more chance. Like, nah.
That's insane. Doubling back to see if you enjoyed it.
It was uncomfortable at first, but in the middle, I think I might have liked what I was doing. Let me see one more time.
Yo, okay. Another left field question. If you had a homeboy that you close friends with that offered to do that, would you cut him off, or would you just be like, bro, you tripping, and then just try and move past it?
No, I'm not homophobic, but like we can't just go back to being friends after you offered to, to tickle my pickle. Like, no, it's just that's it. That's nah, bro. That's a crazy scenario. Like that question right there just threw me all the way off, because that's how would that conversation even come up of like, hey, bro, like, what I'm saying? Like, I'm trying to, demonstrate my skills to you. Like, I don't know how that conversation would even go.
Hey, man, how you feeling right now? Man, I want me a girl. Oh, for real? Yeah, man. Oh, you need that guac 3000, huh? Man, you know it. Well, let me just do it for you. What? Man, no, bro. What? Is you cool? Is you cool?
Right. Yes, I can see, and I guess like you say how it could come up, like, yeah, if y'all both drunk, like, man, I wish I had a girl over here, man. I need some head right now. And then he like, your homeboy try to throw it out there on a joke, like, I mean, I could do it for you. Next thing you know, it like, just to test the water type shit. But yeah,
that's crazy.
It's like, I'll be honest. So I got gay homeboys that before we were like actually cool, they threw something out there to try me, and but it's Atlanta. It's a lot of gay dudes. They be like, and I know a dude. Okay, especially working in the service industry, it's a lot of gay people. Like a lot of the other guys that are in the service industry are usually it's a lot of women and it's a lot of gay dudes. So it's not as many straight male in that industry as some other ones. And so, but for me, I just be like, bruh, I'm comfortable with my sexuality. I know, like, you throwing out a shot out there, especially with me knowing you gay, then it's just like, all right, no, bro, and then they just they respect that boundary, then it's like bet, you know, because I think that's another thing where because I treat everybody with respect, I treat everybody no matter who you are. Cause you know, a lot of straight dudes they get tense around gay guys, you know, whereas like you don't really want to have like a friendship because you don't want to be perceived a certain way or this, that, and the other. For me, I don't care because you know it's interesting where it's like I've had times where gay dudes they would try me because I am friendly with everybody and they think like, oh, because you are nice, like, you know, shoot, like maybe you going, you know, and then I'll just be like, bro, no, you know, like I am completely straight. But the thing is, like, I will only have a problem if the women felt that way. But women never think I'm gay, you know, because and it's like, and it's funny because a lot of the women, when I tell them about, like, you know, it was a dude at my job that asked a girl, just like, yo, it's like, you know, like, what's up, Maurice? And it was like, yo, he is not at all, you know, and like, cause they came back and told me about it. So that's why I say, like, I say, you just being friendly with them, and but I've had them where they have made little like threw it out there, and I'll just be like, bro, no, like I ain't on that type of time. Like, don't even come over here with that. They'll be like, okay, I respect that, and then it's just like, all right, we can still be cool. Like now, I don't need to say all that, you know. I'm gonna still treat you like a normal human being, you know. I ain't now finna just be all weird around you. Like you come over and ask me a question, I'm like, nah, bro, don't talk to me, you know. So
yeah. As long as you, I mean, I feel like it's kind of inevitable at some point. Like if you, as a straight man, like especially living in Atlanta or the Metro Atlanta area, like at some point, more than likely, you're gonna have, even if they're not hitting on you, you're gonna have somebody ask you whether you're gay or not. It's just kind of inevitable. But if you're comfortable in yourself, it's not that big of a deal. I'll be finding it funny though when you have like it be dudes that like they go to jail for like a year and a half, and then they be in jail like, bro, I ain't have no other options. I had to do what I had to do. Like, bro, you do not have life. Like, bro, you'll be out next fall. Like, you just wanted to do that. Like, that's not. They ain't got nothing to do with jail. This is what you was into.
right. Even if you have life, bro, like it ain't that deep. It ain't that deep.
And you got so many options
Because
now.
after about 2 years, you're gonna get used to not doing anything.
I mean, if you spend them, I'm gonna keep it a buck with you. You spend more than 2 years, you're probably not in jail. You're probably in prison, and then prison, you have a lot more flexibility in what you can and can't do. Like you can probably get a CO, you know, like and that's just what's real, bro. Like
Not for real.
yeah, you know, and then get you a little motion in there going. You could probably bag you a CO for you to go ahead and, you know, do your thing or, you know, figure something out. But it's like, it don't be that deep, you know.
You can get a pen pal and get married and get conjugal visits. Like you ain't even. I feel like that era of having to do that is over with. Like if you doing that, you wanted to do that.
Facts.
This is what you went to. You just needed the excuse to be able to do it.
Nah, that's a fact, bro.
That man Thug had them Jerica pictures on the wall, bro.
Nah, he had, but he actually did. But you know, it's like he probably had a bunch of, you know, because I didn't realize that Devin Haney's baby moms that he's dealing with right now, who was also the chick who was on the phone crying to Thug, was Lena Saeed. And I don't know, I brought this up a couple episodes ago, Taz's Angels. She was a Taz Angel. And I remember her because her and her sister was on there. And yeah, it was a crazy, like, I was like, what? But, you know, but the moral of the story is Thug had all them girls on his, like, coming to visit him. They on the phone crying over him, you know. So I'm sure, you know, and the part of the jail that he was in Cobb County, you can get some pictures and stuff in there. You got a little bit of special privilege, you know. So they gonna make it work for you. Either you ain't gonna be able to sneak nobody in there, but you know you could definitely get those photos off so you can, you know, for the spank bank. You feel me?
They said Mariah was like convincing him to talk to his children.
Really?
Yeah. Yeah. Someone
Yo,
was like, I need that type of stupidity in my life. Like I wish for it every 11/11.
now it's like she you can tell she's really like a lover girl, bro.
For
And
sure. Like, cause the way she took the Yachty thing too, like she was down bad about Yachty.
right. And I saw a thing of her recently talking about how like she really wants marriage, she really wants kids and all that. And I hope, I think Thug realizes he has a good girl, and I think she would definitely hold him down. Like she's definitely wifey and baby mom material, all that. Well, if you wifey, you baby mom material, I guess. But like I think he sees that. But I don't know. Sometimes like I feel like she's definitely more in love with him than he is with her. But that's us looking from the outside. Which segue into her album. I don't know if you heard it yet. I enjoyed it. She had a good 3-song run. With it's like a song Eternal Flame, and then it goes into transitions into Is It a Crime, which is with her and Kali Uchis, and then goes into Burning Blue. And I think that like that 3-song run right there was they all transitioned very well. And also I feel like she was United Nations, and it was kind of like, she was talking about like and like God and stuff, like I have to go back to really like lock into the album again. Because after I listened, I just remember like I really been mainly listening to that 3-song stretch, because Eternal Flame is cool, but I really just like how it transitioned into Is It a Crime? Like it transitions like perfectly into it. But the moral of the story is you could hear her talking about a lot of the love that she has is like, as I said, very, very intense, like how she really loves and cares hard, and how a lot of people on the outside, that kind of like, is it a crime, where it's like they don't see the love that we have. They say it isn't love, and it gets to me because what I see is love. So and I feel like, of course she's kind of talking about her and Thug's situation at times. But yeah, it's interesting. Like, and then the last song, if you scroll down, it's called No More Entertainers. Part of me felt like, I don't know who else she's dated, but it definitely felt like if her last big relationship before Yachty,
It was she was with Brandon Goodwin from the Atlanta Hawks.
Okay. Yeah, it's like pretty much it, like she was just like, yeah, like no more, like a lot of y'all are just sitting here acting like y'all really care, but y'all don't, and it felt like, it was an ode to like past relationships, where, and especially with it being called No More Entertainers, I could feel, I don't know, listening to it, I was like, I could definitely see this kind of being more directed at Yachty. Because, I think that was a big relationship for her at the time, where she really cared for him. And then so it was kind of able to dig back into that. I just don't know about the Brandon Goodwin situation as much, if they just broke up, or if he broke her heart, or, I don't really know what happened there. But yeah, but it was a solid little album, man. I said that a good transition, and it's interesting because I think she knew, like, all right, these 3 songs are gonna, this is where this album is gonna kind of peak in a sense, and cause then it's completely switches vibes. It's like Eternal Flame goes into Is It a Crime, and then it kind of, you could feel it kind of go into Burning Blue, where the sonically it all kind of goes together, and then once it goes into All I Want, it's like a completely different vibe. It's just like it's a clear break, But yeah, solid album. If I had to rate it, I give it like a 7.7. I said maybe need to give it a couple more listens, but I think, definitely some good good music for the most part on there. Yeah. Another album that I listened to over the weekend was the Kid Cudi album. I would say I surprisingly enjoyed that a lot more than I expected. It's been a minute since I really listened to a full Cudi album. But it was very nostalgic of his older sound. I mean, it probably still the same sound. I just ain't listened to his albums in a while, But yeah, but I was like, it was typical Cudi, like feeling like, battling depression, feeling like, I don't really know how to describe it, bro. Like, his typical music, because it's not necessarily depression music like it was back in the day, where he was like clearly going through stuff and, the music was the outlet. It's more of like, free is definitely a good way to put it. I could definitely feel he's like, I am at a place where, the person helped me find, a more comfort in myself. He recently got married and everything. But it was a solid little album. I like the beginning, like the first couple songs, as opposed like it kind of towards the end. I was like, yeah, okay, I'm gonna just finish it just to finish it. But yeah, the first few songs, I was like, all right, Man, I recently went back and have you ever heard a Kid Named Cudi?
I never played it front to back, but a lot of those songs, I remember, not to get sidetracked, I remember in high school I bought an iPod from somebody and they had like a bunch of Cudi songs on. That's how I really got into his music. But yeah, I heard probably most of the songs on there.
Yeah, A Kid Named Cudi, bro. That's one of my, I think that's in one of my like top 10 mixtapes of all time, and personally, and I had recently went back and listened to it, and I was like, bro, it's interesting because now when you think about certain artists to see where they're at now, and he talks about how throughout the music how like people talk about like why your music sounds so weird, and like that's kind of was like little interludes in between the songs, like him talking about he's an alien and stuff, and I'm like, it's so crazy because the sound that he has now is we're so far removed from what it came out with. Well, it doesn't actually put the actual date. I think it came out like probably about 2008. The actual album, I mean, A Kid Named Cudi. Yeah, 2008. Yeah, and I could just imagine, when he was making this stuff, it was like people probably like, what the hell is this? It was definitely a completely different sound, and it just made me really appreciate him looking back in hindsight, just him really breaking the mold of what a typical artist was at the time, and to be making the music that he made, and it was just, it's just appreciation, man. Like I listened to that to the tape, and I was like, bro, this is some classic stuff. Because I love this tape from top to bottom. I can listen to it like The Prayer and a couple of those songs he puts into the Man on the Moon album. But yeah, I don't know if y'all really got into Cudi like that coming up. I was a big Cudi fan as a kid.
Oh no, I did. Once we I mean, of course, I liked when it came out. I liked Day and Night, but it when I bought that, like I said, like I bought an iPod off of one of my homies in high school. When I bought that iPod, and he had like a bunch of because he was a super Cudi fan, and I was just going through certain songs that I hadn't heard before, and then I ended up listening to Man on the Moon 1, which was dope. Man on the Moon 2 though was the one that really like. That's the one that's probably my favorite. That's probably his best album to me, like front to back, is the second one. I feel like Cudi is low key. I'm not gonna say underrated, but I do feel like for as big of a star as he was, I don't know if he has if he gets like Cudi. I think Day and Night went to be like number 2 or 3 in the country, and that was his first single, like out the gate. You know what I mean? Like that's kind of a hard thing for a rapper to do, to have a top 5 song on the pop charts on your first single out the gate. So yeah, Cudi was huge. Everything from, I would say everything up until what was the album that had Just What I Am with Chip the Real.
Was that Indica?
Yeah,
I think that
I
was
think it might have been. Yeah. Either that or it wasn't Wizard. It was In the Cut. I think the one. I ain't gonna lie, people hated on the Rock album when it came out. I was kind of, I ain't gonna say I was listening to it consistently, but it wasn't that whack to me, bro. The Speed and Bullet to Heaven album, like
yeah,
it was okay. It was cool.
one of my favorite songs by him all the time. Probably, I don't. It's hard for me to say if it's my favorite because I really like a lot of his music. But one of the top songs, "Teleport to Me, Jamie." I think it's his most underrated song. Off of the Wizard album.
Yeah, I remember that.
Yeah, he snapped on that, bro. I think Rashad, I think you'll really like that song, bro. You should check it out. "Teleport to Me, Jamie."
Yeah. I know Rashad ain't really say nothing when we asked if you was if you fucked with Cudi.
It's on the.
Oh no, I was never like a big, a crazy Cudi guy. Like I understand, like Cudi, he's someone that has like just a crazy fan base that they're just like, yo, kid, Cudi saved my life. And I remember this one kid, I interviewed him. He was a producer at ESPN. I think he probably still works there. And he was like, yeah, Cudi's my favorite artist. And I was like, oh, is it like a Kid Cudi saved my life type of thing? And he's like, no, I just like the dude's music. And I don't know. So it was just like, I guess since I didn't feel that strongly about him, I just never, connected with him like that. Obviously, he's made some of my favorite songs just in the history of music, just with the big hits. But my favorite Kid Cudi song is Love. And that's not necessarily like the biggest song. So I think that's kind of valid.
Yeah, no, that's still a really good song though.
Yeah, no, Love got me through some times for sure.
Yeah, and that's the thing about him, bro. I didn't realize this until like in the moment of listening to him in high school and stuff. I just really enjoyed his music. I don't think it really saved my life or nothing. Like, I wasn't really going through nothing like that in high school. But at the same time, I look back on it and then really listening to the music and I get it. As you said, with like a lot of people talk about how like Cudi saved my life. And it's like my friend who put me onto Cudi initially, I could see he kind of like had some stuff that happened like in like I want to say 8th or 7th or 8th grade. And I know he was kind of going through some stuff all throughout high school, just mentally, because like his dad passed pretty much, and it's like looking back on it, I'm like, I get why this was his favorite artist now, and I get why it really, really resonated with him. And as I said, I really enjoyed the music. It didn't really like, I just liked the music. I don't necessarily say it got me through. But I would say there have been times where I have turned on a Cudi song where I was feeling down, just in life in general, but it wasn't like, man, my darkest times, I just went straight to Cudi, but shout out to Cudi, man. I feel like he's a very needed artist, and the impact that he's had, I think, isn't as appreciated in today. I think he's kind of definitely went back. I think a lot of people they just don't talk about him and don't really think of him like that unless you're from our era, Like,
I have a hot take with that.
What's up?
I don't think Big Sean has dropped a bad album.
I mean, no, I don't think he has either.
But he fell from, what I'm saying? Because it's like you said, unless you came from our era. And I'm like, well, shoot, I think that's true for a lot of those artists like Wale and Big Sean and who else would you say is kind of in that boat of like they were in that era and they were big stars like right next to Drake and J. Cole and Kendrick and they just kind of fell to the wayside as time went on.
Big Crit,
Big Crit,
Chip the Ripper. No, I'm joking. He wasn't
Big
up there.
Crit,
He has
hard,
some
bro.
numbers. Chip the Ripper has some. He has some iconic verses. His verse on "The End" by Kid Cudi with GLC.
Yeah,
10 out of 10 song.
nice.
No, but there's definitely was like people try to rewrite history and make it seem like it was always
Just
Drake,
those three.
Kendrick Cole, bro. No, it was not, bro. Like that like 2009. No, don't get me wrong. I would say Drake was number one always, just from the strength of like. Okay, so Far Gone came out beginning of 2009, but even before then, like I'm Going In was getting played on the radio. Like Drake was already. You could see that Drake was becoming like a major star, and So Far Gone came out beginning of 2009. Forever came out like towards the end of 2009, and like just off the strength of his mixtape, he's on a song with Eminem, Ye, and Lil Wayne. Like Drake kind of got himself out there number one first, but then Cole. It took Cole a while to get heated up. Like Cole had a few singles that came out that like Who Dat was like a relative hit, but it wasn't like a big smash hit or anything like that. It was kind of like if you know, you know. It took Kendrick a few years. The Wiz was bigger than Cole and Kendrick at one point.
Kendrick didn't pop till 2010, 2012. I mean, like on a mainstream, man.
No,
I'm
you're
talking
right.
about swimming pools, yeah.
Yeah, because the song that made me really like Kendrick was The Recipe, which is the Dr. Dre song. And that was like early 2012. That's when I was like, nah, I really fuck with Kendrick. And then from there, he got bigger and bigger. But yeah, before then, I mean, like I said, Wiz was bigger than Cole and Kendrick. I mean, Cole and Kendrick. Cudi was bigger at one point than Cole and Kendrick. You could say Wale at one point, just from a commercial standpoint, was bigger than Cole and Kendrick was. Like, it wasn't always just Drake, Kendrick, Cole being the big three.
No, I'll say 2009 when Wale dropped Attention Deficit. I think he was a bigger artist he was definitely a bigger artist than Kendrick at the time. And I think he was a bigger artist than Cole. Cole then dropped the Sideline Story the next year, but I think Wale still had more momentum just in general. And then, I think actually hot take, I'm gonna keep it a buck. I'll say Wale might have been a bigger artist than Cole through our high school years. Like I think because if you think about the mixtape About Nothing, More About Nothing, the Forlorn,
Ambition,
like 11, the 11 Theory, all that stuff was
MMG as a group.
Yeah.
I
would say that was probably I think that was like during that time, he was very consistent and making so much good music. Especially he had Lotus Flower Bomb there.
I was just gonna say Lotus Flower Bomb is low key like one of my favorite songs ever.
Yeah, like it's up there. So you got to think during that time. I mean, Cole was still snapping, but I don't know. Yeah, I think it's tough. I think it could easily be off of a preference, but I think because I don't know if as many people. I think Cole had. What did Cole have during that time? I guess because you got Sideline Story dropped 2010, and then
that was 2011. Cole. I think Sideline Story came out like summer, fall 2011, around that time.
Oh, okay.
2010 was what's the mixtape?
Friday Night Lights.
Friday Night Lights, I think, came out 2010. Yeah,
it did. And then the album Born Sinner was what, our senior year?
It came out like right after we graduated. It came out the same summer as
college.
Yeah, Yeezus and Magna Carta and all those albums.
Right.
Yeah.
Facts.
Watching movies with the lights off.
With the Mac Miller album. Yeah.
With the TV off.
Rest in peace, Mac Miller.
Rest in peace.
But I don't know if y'all. Well, I know Rashad hasn't. I don't know if he ever did like psychedelics, and it was interesting.
I did LSD one time. It was cool. I enjoyed it.
Yeah, it's like after doing psychedelics, you realize why he'll watching TV with the sound off.
That's
Cause
valid. Yeah.
yeah, because like Rashad, since I know you'll never do it, I'll give you like a little explanation. It's like, when you're under the influence of like psychedelics, a lot of times, it's especially like watching movies, the sound can be so it's like it's a lot going on, and you don't want your attention kind of going from thing to thing, like this sound, that sound, the bunch of random stuff, it can cause like anxiety within you. So then a lot of times people you'll turn something on the TV, but then you'll play like music that will be calming. And so it's like visually you'll have something to watch, but then like mentally you still get it smoothens you out if you have like a consistent album for you to play through, And it wasn't until like as I got older and I had did like psychedelics and stuff, I was like, oh, okay, I get why I get the point of this now, But yeah.
Yeah, no, I did. It was not to get sidetracked, but like the best way I can describe it, it was like you're not high the same way you would be like if you're smoking weed or something like that. It's kind of like it's a different type of experience. But you definitely right. Like you could just, because I did at one point just zone out and it was just kind of in my own head after a certain point and not really too concerned with my surroundings. You know what I mean? But yeah, no, I think Cole. I think the thing that separated Cole was that he has such a core fan base that like his singles leading up to his first album come out wasn't doing great numbers. Like they wasn't charting super high or anything like that. But when his album actually came out, he did like 250 first week. He went number one. So I think that's what really made, because he talked about, I know he did the podcast. You had to pay for it, but he did the podcast with his partner Eve, where he was just talking about like his whole career and all that. And he was saying until his album came out and they actually did the numbers, they were still doubting him. Like they wasn't really believing in him like that. But it makes sense though, because none of those songs, like Nobody's Perfect was like a hit relatively, but it wasn't like a huge hit. Can't Get Enough with Trey Songz was like, it was a hit, but it wasn't a hit. Like he had like moderate hits before his album came out, but his album was what really pushed him to the next level when it did them sales.
It was really 2014 Forest Hills Drive that took him over the top.
No,
Yeah.
I ain't. No.
He was a star before him, but
This is what happened. This is what happened. I'm running back for y'all. He was, like Jelani said, a relative star 2010, 2011, early 2010s, right? Pre the Truly Yours, what was that? 3 or whatever, the one that came out before Born Sinner. That was the one that folks was like, because it was like that Piff was at an all-time high. It was album quality. It was 4 songs. That's the one that had Jeezy on it, big features. The songs was hard, everything like that. That was the one that got people thinking like, oh, Cole coming like this on the new joint? Okay. And then I'm going to drop the same day as Kanye. And then it leaked. Oh, he coming like this. That leak was mad popular. It was everywhere on the internet and stuff like that. That's the most I've seen people talk about Cole, was bubbling up into Born Sinner. And the dang would you believe me, the Miguel joint, Power Trip.
Yeah, that's the one that really,
that was the biggest Cole hit at the time. All of that anticipation between that's when Cole became Cole, right before Born Sinner. And Born Sinner, that's why he outs or rivaled Kanye in the sales. You know what I'm saying?
I mean, I think he definitely during that time, like continued to grow. And I think he went to a good point. But I think for him to be solidified in the big 3, it was 2014 Forest Hill Drive. I think he was.
But you can't say that, because I feel like if that's the case, you saying Kendrick wasn't solidified until Pimp a Butterfly. That's not true.
I mean, I think he was solidified because Good Kid, Mad City Nah, I think it's different because Good Kid, Mad City is up for album of the year. Rap album of the year, and was just critically acclaimed. Cole had very good albums that people enjoyed, and even Born Sinner is a good album. I think a lot of people was checking for him. But as I said, that separation, that true separation, and even with Kendrick, I don't know, like the true separation. I don't know when the moment Kendrick truly separated himself, and it might be Good Kid, Mad City. Because if you think about it, he had Section 80 and all that beforehand, But
bro,
I think
low key, damn.
That's actually
low key, bro. If you like,
are you saying all right? Wasn't like you saying people wasn't checking for Pimp a Butterfly when it dropped?
No,
like,
I remember, bro.
It's just how I look at superstardom, right? When everybody's anticipating, like with Tyler, okay, he did Flower Boy leaked. Once again, it was a leak that kicked off Tyler's big surge. It was just like how it was a leak with Cole. Okay, joint, Flower Boy came out. People was like, "Oh dang!" There's a lot of people giving Tyler a chance that they give him a chance before, including myself and things of that sort, right? That man came out with Igor. Everybody was anticipating Igor just because of how much they like Flower Boy. That's where I anticipate. That's where I look at like you become a star when people anticipating your joint on the first night, and I'm saying the masses and not just the internet niche little following that you have, but everybody is like, "Oh snap, new Kendrick coming out tonight," and that was the case with Pimp a Butterfly, right?
I mean,
my bad, bro. Go ahead.
No, because I agree. Like, I think that's when they became a star. But I'm talking about that separation of the solidifying them into the big three, where it's just like now you're now at the opportunity where he can do stadium tours and stuff like that. I think Damn was that moment for him. I think before that,
I think there's only one rapper that has done that, by the way.
I mean, yeah, that's literally who I'm talking about, Rashad. So you be trying to make it shady.
No, I'm just saying. There's literally one rapper that solidified himself as a stadium act.
Yeah, I feel you. That's literally who we're talking about. But I'm saying, like, in the instance of like where that big three, where you're now, these are the people, like when they're talking about the heart, the mind, the the soul, all that stuff. Like there's a reason that is those three being talked about like that. Because realistically, if you want to say it's Wale could have, if he continued on the path that he was on, because that's what I was saying. Like, he was a really big artist during our high school years, and he could have easily, if things would have kept going, could have been bigger than Cole. He could have been the soul or something. I don't know where he would have fit in, but things of that nature. But that's why I say, like, what we're saying is that clear separation where you're not just a star, you're a superstar. You are now on a different tier to everybody else. And so to the point you make about with Tyler, I think that moment for him with Chromacopia. I think Chromacopia is that moment where I think people been checking for him for a long time. Let's not get it wrong. He's been a star. But now it's like, oh, you're a superstar? Okay, you can legit, you're just at another echelon, And I think that's, yeah, each artist has those moments. And I think even for Drake, like, let's be real, it wasn't until, I think if you're reading this was his solidifying moment. He's always been big, but it went the way it went where, but I still remember when he dropped If You're Reading This, bro, man, he was, if they never did the allegations against him, bro, that, I don't know, bro. Like, it's just crazy to think where he would be now. But I just remember that had everybody listening to him. It used to be where if he was a Drake fan, it was okay. Then what do you think, Rashad? Go ahead.
I think with Drake, it was started from the bottom because I was there the weekend he dropped All Me. It was like the first weekend of college, and everybody, like it was like remember when Wayne was dropping when we was kids and everybody was playing the new Wayne joint, like everybody was playing on me. And that's when I knew. I was like, bro, like, but I knew started from the bottom was that moment. So I say for Kendrick, you could say I was that moment for Kendrick because I was literally on the radio all the time. It was on the Kiss 104.1, the smooth jazz station. It's on the rap station. Ricky Smiley playing it because Ricky Smiley our old head, but it's also news. Like everybody was playing. I think that was that moment for Kendrick. That was 2014. And then the moment for Cole was Power Trip. Because after that, it just became different with the anticipation.
No, I think you're talking about just like radio hits. I'm talking about now you're reaching everybody. And just to be real, Started from the Bottom was a good song that a lot of people play, but I can tell you from my experience of me being around certain groups of people, they still wasn't playing Drake like that for real. You feel me? Like, yeah, he played Started from the Bottom, but they still, I mean, yeah, he made Started from the Bottom, but it still wasn't being played by everybody. And I'll say some of my friends who are more like trap shit, you know, that more hood adjacent, you feel me? Like that really be that like that type of music, you feel me? They wasn't really fucking with Drake still, like with Started from the Bottom. And I know that for a fact because I'm there, I'm with them. It's like me still being a Drake fan, they wasn't really rocking with it. When If You're Reading This Is Too Late came out and like Energy and all that stuff, everybody, it was undeniable. Like everybody had a song that they rocked with because he was able to now just transcend. And I think, and that's why I say with Damn, like I think I was a very big song. And these are great songs. These are like radio hits where like, okay, I know that person. You know, like now you have a song that everybody knows, but at the same time, it's like I think Damn was the moment that it was solidified. Because you could have a big song just like Wale has a Loaded Flower Bomb. Like, let's be real. So that's what I'm saying. If you making these comparisons of like I and Power Trip and Started from the Bottom, Lotus Flower Bomb is that for Wale. But what's the album that then solidify him to like he's here forever? Like he's in the game forever. But now you got people on Casanat, you know, you got the Casanats who don't know him, and now it's whole conversations about, well, I mean, he's only such and such age, you know, how should he know him? Which is crazy, you know, but it's like if he was solidified at that tier that we're talking about, then I think everybody, it would just be different.
But like Kendrick, didn't he get like the Nobel Peace Prize for To Pimp a Butterfly? Like he was performing at the White House, he was performing with Prince during To Pimp a, you know what I'm saying? Like but, it was like he was like out of here. To Pimp a Butterfly era is what I'm trying to say.
No, I mean, he's always been critically acclaimed, but I think the thing that where everybody, because it's like you can have those people who, and if I say with like J. Cole was always known as a boring artist. Everybody always said J. Cole make boring music. That was always a thing for so long. I know so many people who said that, even with Born Sinner. But then with 2014 Forest Hill Drive, it put him into another tier where people were like, okay. And I think with Damn, it was a moment where he made music that wasn't so as socially conscious. Because, you know, not everybody trying to be on that socially conscious tip. That's not, yes, he was very acclaimed. And that's why you can't get it twisted, you know? Like Killer Mike is a Grammy winner. He just won Rap Album of the Year. How many people are checking for Killer Mike on a day-to-day basis? Like Killer Mike is not in that echelon. You feel me? So that's what I'm saying. You can put all these awards and these acclaim on people, but at the same time, it's like what puts you in that other echelon where it's like everybody is now like you're just solidified here. Like no matter what you drop in, everybody, like people are checking for it, but that's what I'm saying. It's like it's just different. I think Damn was, but you have to have those things that work you up to that point though. And that's what I'm getting. I think Started from the Bottom helped him and worked him up to be able to drop If You're Reading This Is Too Late. And then to then put him over the top. I think if him to Pimp a Butterfly set him up to have that moment. That's like, okay, actually, better example. Think about with athletes. Yeah, you can win a ring. Yeah, you can maybe win 2. But then it's like at a point when you become the Kobe's, when you become the LeBrons, there's things that you got to do. There's certain like milestones that got to be hit, and I think those are those things where it's like, yeah, like he had a ring with, and then okay, last example, Future. Future became that solidified where it's like he dropped the three classic mixtapes. Then you dropped DS2, that solidified him. It was like everybody, like those 3 albums were going crazy, and it was a good lead up. And then it's like, all right, here's the knockout punch, where it's like, yo, I'm really here. There's no denying me now, And I think, yeah. So I think there's a lot of artists that they get to those points where they make good music, and then they may have that one punch, they may have that one ring, they may have 2 rings, but then what solidifies them in the game is like, this person is now top 10, So
yeah, I would say Kendrick was like around the To Pimp a Butterfly era. He was a star. I mean, you could low-key say he was a superstar at that point. Like, I wouldn't even be mad at that, because that album did do like 300 first a week, which is great numbers. So he definitely was like a superstar, but I just think, okay, he was able to take a 5-year break after Damn came out. I don't think he would have been able to have taken a 5-year break after To Pimp a Butterfly. Like, To Pimp a Butterfly was a great album, critically acclaimed, great ratings and all that, and did relatively good numbers. But like, I feel like All Right was a hit song, and it was a huge song, but I never felt like it was. I didn't feel like he had everybody at that point. I feel like he still, even though he was doing great numbers, I still feel like he had like there was a certain fan base of hip hop that was like, there was a lot of doubt on him being able to make like even it's a stupid conversation, but him being able to make like a club song or like something that like non-lyrical rap fans. And that's why I think for the next album, why he came with because the moment I feel like he really solidified himself was when Humble came out. Just because Humble was like, when that song came out, bro, it was literally everywhere. Like, it was I think the song might have went like #1 the week it came out. Like, it was that big of a song. So I mean, for me personally, yeah, I can see it either way though. If you want to say he got established on To Pimp a Butterfly, I could totally understand that too. But for Drake, it's kind of hard for me to, because I would go earlier than both of y'all went. For me, like he went up another level when, if you're reading his Too Late came out, but like I remember when Headlines first came out, I'll Take Care.
I was thinking that's on 2 Headlines too.
I remember when that, because I was like a casual Drake fan before then, but like when that song came out,
they still play Headlines in the club.
That's crazy. Yeah, no, that's when I feel like Drake kind of established himself as being #1, as like the top guy in rap. Like that whole, just the whole Take Care, the rollout, just the album itself. But If You're Reading This Is Too Late was like, bro, I think I bought that when it came out. Just because I don't think it was immediately on streaming like the night it came out. I think I might have bought that on iTunes like as soon as it came out. Like, that's how big of a deal it was. But it's an interesting conversation, man.
I say just, and the reason I say if you're reading this from like a person who, like, Drake's been my favorite artist since 2000, like latter part of 2008. Mm-hmm. And so actually, no, I say I've known about him since 2008. 2009, he solidifies himself as my favorite artist. And so being a fan throughout that whole time, a person who very much enjoyed his music a lot, throughout that whole era, I can see how certain people reacted to it, and that's why I say if you're reading this, because the reaction for it, where if you played a Drake song, it was completely different when he dropped If You're Reading This. It was just, nobody looked at you like, why are you putting on Drake? Like, why are you putting on X, Y, and Z? It was just, it flowed, So, and then go ahead.
Oh, my bad, I'm gonna cut you off. No, I was just saying, I remember like, because I was hanging out with you a lot around that like 2015 era, around that time. definitely, especially like the first 6 songs on that tape, people would just let that run at like parties and would not skip a single song.
Right.
You know, he definitely, I feel like he gained like more of a street fan base when that tape came out for sure.
Exactly. And then Meek came with the allegations and then
Yeah,
pretty much
yeah,
took that right away. you know?
yeah. I think people forget like how Drake was really having like low key before those allegations came out. He was kind of having like arguably the best year of his career. I hear people talk about like 2016 Drake. I'm like, bro. I mean, don't get me wrong. I liked One Dance and Controller, and I liked certain songs on Views, but like 20 that period of time. So I think Draft Day and Days in the East came out like beginning of 2014. That's when I think that's when he first announced Views was gonna come out, and then it didn't come out for like another 2 years. But like that period of time from early 2014 up until Views come out, I think that's his peak as far as just quality of music.
So you got to think that's when 0 to 100 came out too.
Yep, that same year. Yep. Yeah, because in between that time, he had If You Read This Too Late, he had 0 to 100, like I said, Draft Day, Days in the East, and then he had
The
But It's
Fetty
How We
Wap
Get Along.
song,
Say it again.
the Fetty Wap song.
Fetty Wap song. He did the remake of Sweeter Man, which people, it's people to this day that still think that's a real Drake, like an original Drake song, which is crazy.
Facts.
But yeah, no, he went on a crazy 2-year run before Views came out.
I think this was the craziest Drake ever was. Like he was on top of the world here. Cause like Mo said, this was before the ghostwriting. This was before the young girls. Not like this was before all that. Like, he still might have his fans now where they'll still go this crazy over him at a concert, but everybody was rocking with Drake at this point. Like even people who didn't like Drake at this point.
Exactly. No, for real. And that's why I was just saying. That's why I think that was I think Headlines, he was a great song. Love the song. I think and Take Care, I think was a good moment for him and everything. But it's like at this point, and that's why like if you're reading this, because as you said, you can just play the first like few songs and it was just like 10 bands, like 10 bands, energy. Stuff.
Yeah.
It's like, bruh, everybody was rocking with it. It was just like, bro, you couldn't. And that's why I say, if it wasn't for those allegations, bruh, it's, I don't know. I mean, it would have had to been something realistically that would have brought him back down to earth. But he was so out of here, bruh. And that's why
I'm sorry, Mom. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
No, I was just gonna say, and I think that's why I think in his mind he's like, that's why the powers that be, they had to, he talks about a lot of that in the music during that time. The powers that be trying to get me, this, that, and the other. They plotting against me, blah blah. But it's like because in his mind he probably like, bro, like if it wasn't for this, bro, I would be so undeniable. Like if it wasn't for the ghostwriting, bro, like they would call Drake the greatest rapper of all time. It would be no question about it, and that's just being 100. It's like now, and not saying that Kendrick is still great, and ain't no telling like maybe years they still would have had the beef, and it would have ain't no telling how that could have went, but I think his credibility will be at such a different point where he would just be undeniably like. He'll be looked at over Jay for sure. He'll be looked at over everybody. There'll be nobody in the echelon that he's in.
Kanye?
I think
Kanye got the same problem Drake got as far as
that's what I'm saying. If Kanye didn't have ghostwriting known in public and all that, like because you're saying that for Drake, right? So if Kanye didn't have that, I think Kanye would be a bigger or like higher.
Yeah, no, and that's a fact. That's why they're so synonymous with each other, and and I think that's why their relationship has always been. The reason that they're always so back and forth with each other, where Kanye's always had this, from how they've both spoken about it, is like this kind of resentment and like essentially jealousy. Like I think this guy can surpass me, but then at the same time, I think they can come together and they have a close relationship because they understand each other. They're both like in such a particular tier, and and then go through a lot of the same. They went through some of the same stuff, Now I think they're just totally different people, of course. But I think at the time where it's like we're both dealing with ghostwriters, and like we both just want to make the best music possible, and yeah. So I think that's why their relationship always been the way it is because it's like they very much relate with each other, and and Drake talks about how he's a big influence on him,
I want to see I want to like unmute this for 5 seconds. Just as I think that this is probably Know Yourself, like just by how he was jumping at the beginning of the song.
Oh, I forgot. Yeah, Slick, that being on, bro. Yeah, that. Yeah.
Yeah, I could tell when he did like a little wrist. Yeah, no, this was a moment. I remember I was there. Gangster ring on.
Yeah, I ain't gonna lie, they had to get this Jew out of here, bro. He was too powerful. He was too powerful. But it looked like Joe Budden said, when he went on that little freestyle and said that's why every song sound like Drake featuring Drake. He was too powerful at that point. Yeah. It was like someone has to stop him. At that point it was too crazy. It was too crazy, bro.
Yeah, because that's why I'm like, bro, how would we view this, man, if it wasn't for all the allegations and stuff that came out? Because I think it's hard to even comprehend it at this point,
because for a second I would say around Nothing Was the Same, people were like, oh yeah, it has been done before. Like Wayne had a 5-year run like this, and then but it kept going. 2014, then 2015, then 2016, then 2017. It was like, yeah, Wayne didn't go this far, bro. Like at that peak.
Yeah, no facts.
As a Drake fan though, I'm a lot lower on Views than a lot of people. Like Views is like a 6 out of 10 for me, if I'm being real.
What?
I just remember it like because I got leading up until Views coming out. I feel like he was making the best music of his career. Views is cool. Like it's not whack. It's just like I didn't feel like that was his best. I just feel like he was so popular at that point in time that he could have put out anything and it would have did numbers around that time. But he still had hits, obviously. He had like Controller, One Dance. There's songs on there I like Grammys with Future. Like there's some great songs on there. It's just
my favorite Drake song is on that project.
What song?
As I be downtown, we've been on the way to you.
Feel no ways.
Okay.
You got something that belongs to me. Your body language says it all.
Right. I think, for me, and I know I really enjoy Views because, as you said, with the nostalgia of like what people were doing during that time. Mm-hmm. And I remember it was just that and then Party Next Door, like being able just to play their music. And, bro, I'm telling you, it was just like when Party Next Door dropped Party Next Door 1, bro, and just being able like to chill with a girl, you just turn that on from top to bottom, bro. And you didn't need a playlist. You just had that album, And it was just, and I feel like there's a lot of songs on Views that you could do that with too, where it's just like, because they make the type of music that you'll know the words, and then you'll sing the words when you with the shorty, and then it'll be like little subliminals, where it's just like like Feel No Ways wouldn't be one of those, but like let's say you're listening to Controller, and you listen to Controller, and then you singing the words of Controller, and you got the shorty next to you, and then it's just kind of like you may give her that look like you say a certain line, it's like music like that. Those are like some of the best. That was just some of the best time during the time when like Party makes a lot of music like that, where it's not that R&B where it's like with Chris Brown and stuff, or like those true R&B artists, they'll make those songs where it's just like you singing it, it's like you really in like a deep R&B bag, but it's like I ain't really too deep in the bag. We really just chilling, but I'm just saying, like, I'm trying to I don't know, it's just certain line. I can't even think of the lines of like some of the songs right now, but yeah, Dover during that time, they made the perfect music for stuff like that. For you just to be chilling, and then you just kind of like the words, she know the words, and you may say that one little line, give her that look, she kind of get the vibe. It's just kind of like, all right, the mood kind of it getting set.
Yeah, there's some great quotables for that type of setting right there.
But I remember the first time I heard Party Next Door, bro, and he got that song, it's like FWU. And I remember, cause now like music is so provocative these days for real, and I think Party really kind of set the tone for that toxic, provocative music, where like just really just saying whatever you want, and then it was like, girl, I'm trying to fuck with you, and then it was just like, and I remember listening, I was like, he didn't really just say what I like, or like y'all ever heard "Ballin'" by Party Next Door?
Nah.
It's like he got a line. It's like a part in like the hook. He like like we're 3 hours in, but it's like he talk about like like pretty much coming on the girl, and yeah, and it's like, but he sings it, and it's just like it's just slid in there, and you just like it's like part of the hook, and you like,
oh, it's kind of like Crank That Soldier Boy.
I don't know the correlation, but
yeah. Fill me in on that one.
Crank That Soldier Boy is about, finishing on a woman.
Really?
I've never heard that before. I've never heard
I never heard
that.
And the Superman is throwing the towel over the woman.
Did he confirm this, or is this personal thing?
David is the one who told me this, so I guess take that with a grain of salt.
All right, I'm not. No.
And Superman that. So, and if you think of the dance, it kind of makes sense. Like with the dance, like when they did the little, thing with the legs where you do like this, or you do that with the legs. It kind of makes sense.
Yeah, I don't know if that one confirmed, my boy, but
No, I know Rain by SWV. I know that's
that's Golden Showers, yeah.
Or I don't know Golden Shower, but definitely a type of shower.
Yeah. The song I was talking about in Ballin', he was just like he was like, I'm balling. And then he's like I just finished on you. And I remember the first time I heard that, I was like, wait, what? Did he just say that? Like, hold on. Like I had to run it back. I was like, oh, he really just said that. Like, oh, okay.
Yeah, he's shooting a different type of shot.
Yeah.
I want to say this while we hear Trey Songz, you a nasty individual if you listen to this Effie, bro.
Did he get caught again?
I don't respect no, no people with the type of allegations that you got on your record. A number one of them, boy. There's a reason why I sat down, and you said you better throw some respect on my name. I still sat down, 10 toes, looked you in the eye, boy. You know what it was. You know what it is. You had smoke with Trey Songz over here.
You had smoke with Trey Songz?
Oh yeah, for sure.
In real life?
Nah, Trey Songz don't know me, but he looked at me sitting down at the concert. I'm the only one sitting down. And he said, "Man, y'all better stop playing with me." And he kept performing, and I kept sitting down.
Right, Trey Songz used to be that dude at one point, but that's he's in that R. Kelly lineage as far as having the Freaky Man allegations.
What song y'all think this is? Jumpman?
I don't think Jumpman wasn't out yet.
All right, let me see. Wait, you got any guesses, Maurice?
Actually, no. I think you sure it wasn't out yet? Because 2015 when DS2 came out.
Jumpman was on. If you're reading this is too late though, that didn't come out till like October, somewhere around there.
Nah,
Jumpman was on DS2.
No, it was on. It was on the collab tape.
No, it was. Oh no, that was on.
You think about was that monopolies?
Yeah, yeah. Okay, they'll probably perform in Where You At.
Probably, yeah, that makes sense.
Thomas.
Thomas was at that time though. That was like one of the biggest songs.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
Hey,
That makes sense.
when he was hitting them folks.
Yeah, this was Future's peak right here.
Facts.
Summer 2015.
Drake is hilarious, bro.
He's a hilarious guy.
His emotes are hilarious, dude. All right, but that, yeah, that was it. I just saw them jumping up around, and I was like, I wonder what song they're doing. I can't tell. The other songs I could tell, like you could tell when Drake did Energy because he did like this with the microphone.
Right.
Yeah, and you could tell when he pointed out like which parts they were and stuff. So
Yeah.
Man, what a time. That was just 10 years ago. That's crazy.
What a time.
This was the one you went to, right, Jelani?
I was there. I was in the crowd. Yeah.
Kanye came out for this and did them bum songs from 2014, dog.
Kanye came out. Yo, it was because that's just not his crowd, bro. It was only like a lot of people left when Kanye came out. I enjoyed every second, but a lot of people did because this was like Yeezus era, so like not too far away from there. So
Tear me down, tear me down.
Oh yeah, I know people left for that.
bro, you gotta think this is his birthday bash, bro. This is like the hood niggas of Atlanta was outside.
Yeah, I was about to say the club.
Yeah.
It's a club crowd.
They went crazy for Drake and Future, but there was only a few of us in there and we was going hard for don't get me wrong, but like it wasn't as many people.
But he should have did the hits, but he was in this point where he doing everything experimental.
Oh no, he still did. He did like Can't Tell Me Nothing, like certain songs. He did some of his hits.
How long was his set?
He had a full set. He wasn't like a surprise
he did an
guest.
hour?
No, it wasn't like an hour, but it was at least like 30 minutes because it was at least 25 because he was advertised. It wasn't like he was a surprise guest.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Drake was.
He did this. He did that at birthday.
Yeah, I don't even remember. I probably erased this part from my memory because I remember him doing like Can't Tell Me Nothing. He did some of the hits. He did a few songs from like Yeezus too around that time. But I feel like that's when people started to leave.
Don't let them know you.
Yeah, I don't even
Try to.
Yeah. Nah, yeah. Definitely,
I found it. The good stuff.
Oh yeah, I forgot 2 Chainz came out.
Man, what a time, boy.
That was
I ain't gonna lie, I felt like we were spoiled, bro. Like, cause it was like, cause you ain't just had to go to the underground to get the good stuff. Like the mega collabs and everything was on the mainstream. But now everybody hate each other. I mean, everybody hates each other out loud. They've always hated each other. They just hated each other and was quiet about it just to work together. But now, like, all bets are off.
Yeah, it's definitely rap is not as friendly as it used to be. So,
on the mainstream.
Yeah, on the mainstream level. Yeah. A lot of rappers that used to be cool be beefing out.
Oh, facts.
Bring it full circle, Thug and Gunna. That's the podcast right there.
Let me say, shout out to Kelly Moonstone. She dropped a great album. Shout out to Earl Sweatshirt. I'm still understanding it. Like it's taking me some time to get it, but I'm getting there. I don't know. How do you guys feel about that? Like if it takes time for you to get there with an album, does that mean it was really good, or are you trying to convince yourself that it's good?
Sometimes you be trying to convince yourself, but I feel like sometimes the music is interesting. It just, if it makes you come back to it, I feel like that it did its job as far as captivating you. But if it's an artist that you like, I've definitely found myself trying to convince myself that I like certain albums, and I didn't really. But if it's a year from now and you still going back to it, then yeah, you like the album.
Yeah. Yeah. I lean more towards convincing myself. Cause I think if an album doesn't typically get me sonically and like I'm really like tuned into it, it'd be different if like you're listening and then maybe you're distracted and then or maybe you wasn't in the right place to listen to it at a time. But if it's like you feel like I'm tuned into this album and then it's like I went through and I ain't really rock with it for real. Like I guess let me give it another listen. So cause maybe I'm missing something. I think it's just, at that point you're trying to convince yourself. And yeah, I think Earl. I'm gonna listen to the album. I've never really been a big Earl fan. I'm gonna keep it a buck. I think he's made a few songs that like Doris. I couldn't get all the way through. It just wasn't really for me. You know, I think
You on that old stuff, bro. Like Earl been running it since about 2018. I ain't gonna lie to you.
not, but you know, Doris is probably his most acclaimed tape. But then even some rap songs, I listened to some of it and it just wasn't necessarily for me, you know?
I'll tell you this about some rap songs. This is why I feel the way I feel about this album. I hated some rap songs when I first heard it. Like it was like the beats were weird, the flow was off. I just couldn't get into it. And then I don't know what clicked because that was the same year the Lit album from Playboy Cardi came out. Same thing. Couldn't get into it. He was doing the suck on my wah, like a tit, suck on like a tit. And I was like, what is he talking about? Like he ain't saying nothing. It was just something, it clicked. I was like, bro, I love that album. Same thing with some rap songs. Something just clicked. That's one of my favorite rap albums probably ever. Like it's up there with Faces as a mixtape for me for sure. Of like just albums that I just listen to like on default if I'm on a road trip or something like that.
Okay. Yeah. I mean, I can go back and try and give it a listen.
How you feel about the trap stuff that Earl does?
I mean, as I said, I ain't never really been like I've only seen that one clip of that song that he made.
The fine chocolate stuff like a diamond. Hold on, wait, and I felt like a lime.
Yeah. And like, I mean, that was cool, you know. I'm not really going back to listen to it too often. But it's like nothing against him. I guess it is against him because I just don't really I just don't really listen to music like that, you know. Yeah, I'm just not the biggest fan. But you know, I'm willing to, you know, give it a chance. You know, I wasn't a Jid fan. And you know, this last album,
this ain't like that. If you don't like some rap songs, you're not gonna like this album. I'm gonna just let you know, but save your time.
But I mean, you know, maybe I need to, cause I didn't even finish some rap songs. It's just that's the thing. It's like a lot of those songs I started it and then I was just like, yeah, this ain't what I'm trying to hear right now. Especially in 2018, I don't think that was what I was trying to hear. But yeah, I mean, I'm gonna go back. You know, I'm in a like I feel like right now I'm in a spot of really digesting music a lot better than I have been for a while. You know, because I've been a lot more solitary than I have been. Like I've been for the last few years, been working, always on the go. You know, and especially like you know, always being in the car on the move. You kind of either resort back to your go-tos or you want something kind of lit, you know, or you know, I'm big on like R&B, so you know, R&B songs always kind of or more of the melodic songs make their way through a lot quicker than you know those deeper rap songs. So but yeah, so I'll give it a shot, you know.
Yeah, I mean, some rap songs for me is one of those albums that I love, but I can understand somebody else hating. Like if somebody else told me that they don't like the album, I'm not mad at them at all because I can understand it is definitely like it's definitely like kind of like a throw it off album as far as like the production choices and things of that nature. But I fucked with that album a lot when it came out. But I wasn't. It got mixed reviews, and I wasn't mad at nobody for not liking it because I could totally understand like somebody not liking that album.
Right.
Offset Kiari or Kari, how you say his name?
Kiari.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it was
check it out,
pretty
yeah.
good album. Just like the last one, I think Offset makes good solo projects. It's just like kind of sad, like in my heart. Like I always kind of like pull for like, is this a song we get a reunion? Is this a song we get a reunion with both of them? And I don't
Yeah,
know.
I don't think
that
it's ever
moment-
happened.
Yeah, that moment will ever happen. Like when they was still beefing after Takeoff died, I said, "Oh yeah, this is for life."
I mean, if you heard the rumors for why, it would make sense. Like,
I don't think anything is that. To be honest, I don't think anything is that serious unless Offset was stealing money from Quavo. Okay, I feel like that's more serious than like he slept with your girlfriend.
it's the principle though. If we supposed to be like damn near family, like, and you mess with, even if we're not together, like if that was my real girlfriend, like even with one of y'all, like imagine if like imagine if you was dating messing with a girl, and then y'all break up, and then you find out Mo did something with her, like. Even if y'all not together, you'd be like, bro, like why? Like out of all the girls that you could have messed with, like why would you go with that one? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, that'll be flawed. That'll be flawed for sure.
Yeah. Not to say that Mo would ever do some shit like that. I don't even want to put that on his jacket, but
No, facts. I mean, and if I it is one of those things that I think maybe with time, you know, it's like, because especially if that didn't become your wife, you know, then it's just kind of like, you know, whatever. Because we're talking about Offset hit Quavo's ex, right?
so allegedly,
Sweetie.
Saweetie, yeah, allegedly.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. I was like making sure that, you know, wasn't like it was Cardi or something, you know.
Yeah.
But I say, yeah, like I think that is something that, like, I guess over time you can kind of get over, but you know, it's also, I think, I don't know, it is one of those things. Like I get Rashad, you saying, you know, it's like it's nothing, y'all should be able to get over it, but you got to think at the same time, it's like they ain't blood, you know. It'd be different if that was like
It's up in the air
it's up in the air.
because Offset said they're not actual cousins, and then Quavo came back on his next album on Rocket Power and was like, "And then my cousin talking about we ain't cousins," and I was like, "Are they cousins or not?" Like that's like that's when I got confused. But yeah,
I don't think they could. I mean, the story of how they met is Offset and Takeoff and Quavo had a rap group. Nobody really rocked with the tape except for Offset, and then Offset asked to be included, and then you know, so I don't think they actually blood. But yeah, but I think regardless, you know, it is one of those things where it's just like I saw you as a brother. You know, some people are like, and especially for them to still be beefing during because there ain't no telling how Takeoff felt about it. You know, it'd be different if it was like Takeoff was the one like, man, like, you know, I want us to all get back together, bro. You know, this that, and the other. But if Takeoff was just like, nah, we don't rock with Buddy, you know, then I could see Quavo kind of being like, it'd be different if it was like after he died, you know, this is like an ode to him because Takeoff would have wanted this, you know. But if Takeoff was just like, nah, like, forget dude, you know, then I can see him just kind of being like, yeah, like, we ain't got to work together again, you know. And it might be a pride thing where it's like, we don't need to ever do this, you know, like we don't need to reconcile, you know, like we did what we did, we had our time. So, but I can see maybe like years from now, you know, to get a bag, them going on like Amigos tour, like probably like 20 years from now, 15, you know. But right now to try and get that reunion, I just don't really think is what they really trying to do, you know.
Next album's Sierra's album, CC. So two people release their albums like using their names and nicknames and things of that sort. I got like through the first 8 songs. It was pretty cool. I like the features. It started slowing up at the time I stopped, so I can't give a full review of it. Mo, did you happen to finish it by chance?
I ain't started.
Okay, all right. Well,
I'm
that's
not.
Sierra. Okay, next one.
Like,
What you about to say?
I'm about to say I ain't gonna lie. Like I don't really see myself going to go listen to a 2025 Sierra album.
Hey, we gotta respect our legends. Salute to our legends for sure. Shout out to Sierra.
And she over there doing LA bops and stuff on the album. I'm like, I don't know. This is why Future left her.
Oh no! All right, okay, all right. Shout out Anicia. I hope Anicia gets to meet Sierra, and she gets that record cleared, and they can get it up on streaming services and everything will be fine, and she can get her Atlantic Street cred back. Is Lotto on this album? I just thought about that. Lotto might be on this album. Hold on. I don't think Lotto's on this album, bro.
You got Bossman D-Lo on there?
Yeah. Oh, yeah, there she is right here. This right here, featuring Lotto. So she got some in line in there.
I might check that out. I'm a Sierra fan.
Shout out Sierra. You gotta respect our legends, especially the ones from the city for sure.
Oh,
I mean, but it's just like for me with her, like, you know, definitely respect for what her legacy, but I don't know, man. It's just she don't really. I don't feel like she reps Atlanta for real. Like it don't feel like it. At least to me, I'm gonna keep it a buck. Like I don't see her. It's not like we're hearing about her throughout the city. You don't hear about her. You know, she don't really collab. Like, hey, you got the song with Lotto, but if Lotto wasn't as big as she is, you probably wouldn't have her anyway. But
she had to join with Summer Walker.
Yeah, I mean, it's like big artists, but I think it's just like I don't know. It's for me. It's just I don't know. It's just weird. I don't really feel like Sierra really. She don't really rep Atlanta like that. You don't see her really talking about it. She don't really be out here.
I think she used to be out here before Russell, and then after Russell was like, you have to be a wife. You know what I'm saying? Like what you gonna do? You just gonna let your man be in New York, Jersey, while you in the A? Like, you know what I'm saying?
I mean, why? So that don't really make no sense, bro. Why can't she bring Russell to the A? Like, I'm not saying she got to be.
You mean during like the off season?
Yeah, I mean like.
Okay, I mean, I guess that's a valid point.
Bro, they rich. Like, let's not act like they not rich, bro. They could fly at any time, bro.
Right. Because you got to think, bro. Like when I grew up, Sierra was everywhere, dog. Like Sierra was darn near like Jermaine Dupri and Bow Wow, bro. Back in the day, like Facts. She was at all the Hawks games. She darn near had season tickets to the Hawks. She sung the national anthem at the Falcons game at least once a season. Like she was like, "Oh, I'm the biggest Falcons fan. I'm the biggest Hawks fan." Like that's what she did. And then she married Russell Wilson. And then it was like, wherever Russell at, that's what I'm a fan of. And it's like, bro, you know you a Hawks and Falcons fan. Like that's all you've been saying your whole life. So it's like, and then she got her own day in the city last year, and she did something with that. She opened the CC studio, dance studio, and stuff like that, and catered on her day this year and stuff like that. And she gave a speech about how much she loves Atlanta and her hometown. And then I think I also might be a little more biased with this because I was at the Missy Elliott show last year when Sierra was opening, and she got her day from the city. And she said, "I love this city so much." She was wearing an A hat the whole time. So that's what I see from Sierra. I see like a lot of A hat still and a lot of "I'm just a girl from Decatur, Georgia" speeches. So that's why I think I'm like, yeah, I think she still rep the city for real. But like since Russell, she kind of distanced herself from Atlanta. I will say that.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, like when she's here performing, and I guess you get a day, like, you know, come back for that. But I just think on the regular, I don't know. It's just she's not synonymous with Atlanta like she used to be.
I feel that way with Ludacris.
Yeah, he very much not as much either, you know, because I think it's hard when there's a lot of big acts that's from that era who are still very much synonymous with Atlanta, like Jeezy, Ti, you know.
But they stay in Atlanta though. That's the thing.
Yeah, I mean, I guess you know that it's an ode to their love for the city, you know, and I think with Sierra, like I get it, you know, she you know, it's like, yeah, you got to support your husband, you know, and I guess wherever he is, you know, but at the same time, I think there are times where you can, as I said, you're still a big artist. You can come back. Like, these people are rich, bro, you know? So it's just like, it's nothing for you to come back from time to time and still, you know, spend time with her. And I may, like, she maybe come back and visit family, maybe, but you know, as I said, that goes also, I guess, my perspective of it. And because I always remember the story of, you know, I think we spoke about this before some podcasts ago, just how when her and Future separated, it was because she wanted more of that LA lifestyle, you know, and Future was like, I gotta get back to the city. I gotta stay connected. And then that's where it really the distance probably really start happening. And I think from there, I've seen so much of that where you see her with more LA people, like, you know, that just seems to be her vibe. She's a LA girl. And I'd say even on this album, you got an LA song. It's like, I don't know. It's like, she don't really feel Atlanta to me like that anymore. I was like, Sierra, you know, she is synonymous with because we grew up on her. But if you wasn't around during that time, you wouldn't really think of Sierra as Atlanta. And I think, I don't know, I would prefer, you know, our legends to still be, for me to still consider you, I don't know, I would like just more representation.
Like Usher.
Yeah, that's an even better example. Like Usher all the way out in Vegas, but that boy's still Atlanta, you know?
But Usher be around though. I'm pretty sure Usher still lives in Atlanta. That's the thing.
Yeah. And I mean, and that's another thing. Like, why she ain't got no crib in Atlanta?
Yeah, no, that is a very valid point. It's like Ludacris. Like I be forgetting Ludacris from Atlanta sometimes, and like he was at a Falcons game last year. I was like, dang, like I don't be seeing Luda around, like because that's what my boy said. He said he don't be around. I said, you right. Like you see Ti everywhere. You see Killer Mike everywhere. You see Big Boy everywhere. Like. They outside to the point where you don't freak out when you see them, and I think they did that on purpose so you don't freak out when you see them in public. And but those boys, like, they run Atlanta, like, and we know they Atlanta to Jeezy. He had a lot of stuff in Atlanta.
But I will say, Ludacris, he don't be around as much, but he definitely be at the Falcons game. I've seen him at the Falcons game a couple of times. You know,
I saw him at a game last year.
Yeah, what game did you go to?
I went to remember we both went to the Saints game.
Okay, yeah. I wasn't sure.
That was my last game.
Okay, yeah. Yeah, like I remember seeing him there. And you know, it's like the love he got, because they did something else for him during that. Like, I don't care. I don't know if you remember. Like they did something with him, did he perform?
No, he was just sitting in them Atlanta United seats in the club level or whatever behind the field goal post. It was like Usher. They said Luda in the building, and he went like this, and then they played like a Ludacris mix. I think. Right. I think Tigger played like a Ludacris mix, and then they just kept showing him on the screen. And Luda was just like, you know, what you gonna do for 5 minutes? You know, he was just like, this is for 5 minutes.
You could definitely tell he was like, all right, y'all can get me off.
Yeah. It's like y'all can show the fans now. But yeah, okay. So that was Sierra. Who else dropped? I listened to 404 and he apparently dropped his album like in February, but it was my first time hearing it because I was listening to another young kid. His name is it's like Mirrors or Scissors, and the name of his album was Scissor Hill. His manager sent it to me. He said, check it out. He manages Glory Girl 2950. It Girl, she dropped recently. I really like It Girl's joint. She got a joint with Veda on there. Shout out to It Girl. That's a lot of the young crew. Shout out to 404 Chew. Shouts out to Tony. Lil Tony versus T Key. Your name is Nat Key. That belongs to Fat Man Key. But that album, I like what he's talking about on there. He's really talking about the rejuvenated, reborn version of himself, the Christian version of himself. And who else? Those are the ones I could think of off top. I started 2 Chainz' album, the soundtrack. Oh, it's hard. Oh, it's undeniable. I got all the way through like the Lil Yachty song. I haven't finished it because I was at work, but enjoying hard.
I gotta check it out. I've been lacking for the new music. I feel like there's so many albums that have been out these last few weeks. I gotta go back and I'll probably do that this weekend. Actually, I'm gonna just sit down and listen to a few different albums.
Right.
But yeah, I've been I'm still it's still albums that came out like 2 weeks ago. I gotta go back but by the end of this weekend, I'm gonna be caught up in, because it's still, even last week, like the Earl album came out. There's a few different albums that came out last week I wanted to listen to. I ain't really sat down and fully listened, but definitely this weekend for sure. Definitely do.
No, facts. Yeah, we got to stay locked in on the music tip, man. Yeah, I mean, I think that was it's a couple albums that, another one that been meaning to listen to was the Mac DeMarco. I don't know if y'all listen to him.
No, I rock with Mac. Of course, a couple of the big songs, but I feel like that's just my relationship with white artists. It's like, I know that, like, when he do the biggest hit. Remember when Yachty brought him out at what was that, Lollapalooza or Coachella, and he did the wait again. Like, I know the big song from the white dudes. I know the big song. Shouts out to Claro. I rock with Claro a lot. But anyways, go ahead, Mom.
No, I was just saying, yeah, I downloaded his album. I got to listen to it. Because I'm not like, I like his music. I've came across a few songs and then, went ahead and added them. And then they're like in my playlist. But I haven't really listened to like a full project from him. So I'm definitely check this out. Yo, okay, last topic. You ever made a playlist for a girl?
Yeah, a few different times. Yeah.
Right. I feel like, that's like another level of bonding, low key. It's like when you make that playlist for a girl, and then and especially like when she rock with it and stuff. Because I didn't realize it at first until like I made a playlist. This was years ago, but like for this one girl, and I could just tell it was like, okay, this is like really being able to share what you like, and then putting somebody on the music, and then them being genuinely interested in like, all right, this is the music that you like, this is the music that I like, and then y'all like coming together. It's just as I said, like a different level of like bonding when you can do that with a chick,
Yeah, it's just whack when y'all stop messing with each other, and then like I can't even listen to the playlist the same. So I definitely got a playlist that I made that was super fire, but every time I hear it now, it reminds me of somebody I don't really speak to like that no more. So like some of the songs kind of they don't really hit the same way they used to.
Nah, I feel you on that, bro. I was gonna say real quick. I remember this one girl. She had every time I hear "Honest" by Baby Keem, she that was like a song she had on the playlist, but also she had made like, she used to do like visualizers for this group that it was like this little like radio group that she was a part of or whatever. And I remember she was showing it to me and everything. And I just remember that like that Honest, because that was the first time I ever heard it. And so literally every time I hear it now, I think about her. It's like not even on something like, man, I miss her, but it was just like I think about like, where I first heard it. Yeah. And that Mac DeMarco is because I put her on to him. And I remember she being like, oh, like I really like this song, so Mac DeMarco is one of those artists too that I think about. You know, when I put somebody onto him and whatnot. But yeah, that's why I even talk about this.
Girl says she likes Steve Lacy.
Who?
It's a meme. I'm sorry. It's a meme. I apologize.
Oh no,
Did you catch it, Jelani?
no, that dude it'd be like Steve Lacy, Tame Impala. It's certain artists. I feel like when niggas want to be different, Mac DeMarco is one of those too. I mean, I actually like Mac DeMarco, and I could tell you genuinely like him. But it'd be some dudes that just be like the first artist that they hear that's not rap. Yo, I fuck with it. Exactly. Yeah.
Facts.
And niggas be like, yo, I fuck with Radiohead. Like, all right.
Radiohead is crazy. But yeah, I mean, the closest, like some of the moments I've had with that, especially recently, was earlier this year. Mike released Showbiz, and I was like, yo, we get new Mike at midnight. Oh my gosh, we're rappers back. Da, da, da. And there she was like, who's Mike? And I was like, he's like the greatest rapper right now. Da, da, da. And then she was like, well, one day you're going to find a girl who loves Mike just as much as, and I was like, oh no.
Wait, you played it for her?
No, I was just like,
okay, I'm gonna say that's real. I ain't gonna say that's scared of whole music, but it's like it's a basement.
Shouts out to Mike, bro. Artist of the century, man. With the band of the century for sure. Shouts out to Mike. But yeah, that was it. That's all I had to say with that one.
Oh, you ain't ever made a playlist for a girl?
Nah.
Really?
Mm-mm.
I feel like that would be like your bag.
I know. You would think so, right? Nah, I ain't never made no playlist for no girl.
Bruh, try it, bruh. She gonna fall in love, bruh.
No, I don't need that right now.
You know, I've also had a situation where I made the playlist for the girl and like put great detail into it, and then like when she pulled up, we didn't even end up listening to music like that. So I just feel like I just wasted my time. Like, you know, we might have played like 5 songs and then just went to having like a regular conversation. But
so like, I'm like I remember there definitely been times where I made a playlist and then like I sent it off, and I might like cause like, you know, they send me a playlist, I send them a playlist. So you send it to me, I'm actually listen, you know, I'm gonna go through it, really like, you know, deep dive, like, okay, I really like this song, blah, blah, blah. But yeah, I remember there definitely been times where I've sent it and I know the girls ain't played like damn near none of it, you know? But but that's why I like that one girl with the Honest song. Like I rocked with her heavy because I know she actually listened to the playlist because she went through it and then literally was just sending me like throughout the week randomly like, oh, I really like this song, you know, like like blah blah blah. Like she was from Chicago and I threw what's buddy name? Quando Rondo.
It's Chicago.
Yeah, I threw a Quando Rondo song in there that I really liked. I like, you know, he got some early music that I really rock with, you know, and then just like I figured out like I'm pretty sure she never heard this, so I'm really just trying to, because the first playlist I made for her, she was like, nah, don't give me just a generic stuff that, you know, everybody knows, like really get into your bag, you know, and I was like, okay, bet, you know, so I was like, I'm gonna throw the Quando Rondo song on there that I know, you know, from Imperfect Flower. I don't know if y'all ever heard that.
I ain't gonna lie, girl couldn't tell me that because I was send like the weirdest music, bro, and she'd be like, "Oh no, like I don't get it."
Bro, I threw Kyle Oceans in there. Yeah, you know, which is a good song until it gets to the end where it's just like where he talked about like stalking her or something like that. And I was like, I hope this is one of the songs that she just kind of gets towards the end and be like, all right, let me go ahead and move on.
Is that a you are the only girl that when I look in? Is that one?
Nah.
Oh no, it's all right, cool. Is that right, cool. Send me the pics to your bed. Like,
yeah,
I'm in that bed. Ocean. Yeah, okay. It took me a minute.
Yeah, but you know, I really, but that's one thing that, you know, I definitely I recommend, find you a girl that's going to make you a playlist, and then if you make her playlist, that's actually going to listen to it. To all the listeners out there, bro, because if a girl ain't gonna really like, especially like I know for me, all the girls that I talk to, they know that one of my biggest things is music. How much I love music and things of that nature, and I think that's just a good sign of a girl that's really looking to invest into you. It's like I want to be able for us to connect over this, because I did a mutual playlist with this one girl one time, and then we like stopped talking, and it was just sitting there on my Spotify, and that was awkward, so I had to delete it.
Yeah, it'd be like that sometimes. I understand. Trust me.
Yeah, man, it's rough out here, man.
I'm from the 5, middle fingers on 6, dirty land, dirty shit. That's a song I probably put on there just because it's in my head right now. Yeah, man.
I put a Young Nudie song on a playlist for a girl one time. It wasn't like no sensual playlist though. It was just like the songs that I was into at the moment. She's asked me like what music you into right now.
What you listening to right now? I feel like you got to be honest. Shout out Cleo Soul though. I love Cleo Soul, and that would seem like a thing that's like
it was on there too.
The Earth Girls, and that's like no, I really like Cleo. Like Cleo Soul is like she makes when she dropped them 2 albums back to back in 2023. Those were like albums 1A and 1B for me of the year. Like when she dropped, yeah. So,
Rashad, you the one who put me on the Cleo Soul.
Oh, for real? Yeah. She is. She feel like a hug. She feel like a hug for sure. Like her music sound like a hug.
She has. I love her music to like meditate too.
Yeah. It's very peaceful. Very peaceful, man.
I feel like I don't like how everybody be sampling her. I've heard like a few songs like of them sampling her and stuff, and I'm like, I don't know, leave her alone. I just don't feel like like I don't know. That's just how I kind of feel about it. It's like she like give it some time at least,
Yeah.
But yeah, like you said, her music definitely does feel like a hug, bro. Very soulful.
Shout out to Cleo Soul, man. I guess we're getting out of here, man, after 4 hours. Appreciate everybody tuning in and stuff like that. The episodes are getting longer and longer. I think it's because it's really because we're going back to music. It's like, music is important though. I feel like it's kind of a responsibility. If you're going to talk about the BS, you should talk about the music too.
I'm with you on that.
It's a fair balance. So yeah.
This is for the listeners. First off, if you listening at this point, you probably are our top listener, like our most dedicated.
Yeah, for sure, 100%.
We appreciate you.
You playing this your entire work shift,
literally, like damn near half the work day over with. Because we definitely didn't plan. Like we didn't say like, yo, we're doing a 4-hour episode tonight. It's just
we started earlier. We started earlier in the night. I was like, okay, we're going to
start. And still we ended up running off damn near 4 hours. Yeah. I think that's a good thing though that we were able to talk for that long.
No, facts. Yeah, it's like it should be those random topics that end up like, all right, that's another 45 minutes.
Like when we was talking about studs earlier, like that, it just came out of nowhere. Like,
yo, it's crazy to think that was the same episode. We ended with talking about Cleo Soul, and we were talking about studs 2 hours ago.
We talking about a lot of this is low key, not literally, but it's like low key like our gayest episode.
Nah, all right, well, fellas, if y'all still want to plug yourself for the one person that's listening after 4 hours on this episode,
yeah, if you're still listening, you probably know our socials by now. But underscore Jelani 2 underscores on Twitter. You can find me on there. So
right, it's like after the 3 hour mark, it's like we ain't got to bleep out no names no more. It's like
I know.
Just say whatever you want.
Mr. Bondi.
That's crazy.
Shout out to Church. Shout out to Church.
Throwback.
Like Ellen Richardson. All right, okay, let's get up out of here. So hey, shout out to
the real MVP.
Right. Shout out to Mass Part, my homeboy. down in Griffin, Georgia. He got a little.
And you might as well save that shout out, bro. I ain't gonna lie to you. If it ain't in the first 5 minutes, man.
Yeah, just next time, just start that.
Hey, wear that hat next time and open up. How y'all boys doing? Oh, I'm feeling much better with my mask part.
Nah, fact. Right, yeah, because I thought about it like halfway through. That's why I switched the hat, and I was like, all right, I don't know when we ended, so like, let me go ahead and make sure I show my boy out.
Okay,
Last thing, do y'all what do y'all be doing? Like, have your ex ever gave you like clothing?
I know what you mean, like returned clothing, like
no, like ever like bought you like clothing or something
after we were.
I got a pair of cufflinks with my initials on it.
Okay, yeah, like because I bring that up because like I had a girl who was from El Salvador. She brought this for me, and I was like, man, it's kind of fun. I ain't from El Salvador, but I kind of rock with it. I ain't finna wear this out in public like that because they'll be like El Salvador, But yeah, that's why I threw it on. But I was like, yeah, shoot. I was finna just ask like, shoot, y'all just be getting rid of like stuff that girls buy you?
Nah.
Oh no, I'm not getting rid of nothing. I'll wear a pair of socks if a girl.
But the clothes that I got back, like I tried to wear it again, it just felt weird. I ain't gonna lie. Like it was some good stuff too. Like I was thinking about it the other day. One of them was a shirt. It was a Gambino shirt. It said Asian girls everywhere, UCLA, and the UCLA was the UCLA logo.
Yeah.
Like when I got that shirt back, bro, it was just too weird. I tried to wear it once again, and after that, I was like, I don't want to wear this again. I don't want to see this T-shirt again.
Yeah, I feel you.
That's understandable.
Yeah, I definitely have gotten clothes. I think any clothes that I've gotten back, I usually just be like, I'm gonna rock with it. But I think it's the clothes that was bought for me. This one girl, she bought me a jacket, but I think the stuff that it's usually the stuff that I didn't really like that anyway. And it was like she bought me the jacket that I'm like, I would probably never wear, but you got it for me, so you may see me in it a couple times, but I would never wear this. And then I ended up just donating it. But I was like, at first I was like, should I do that? Is that wrong? But then it was just like, man, I ain't gonna hold you. I went online and Googled it. I was like, is this wrong? And then and it was like, you shouldn't have to feel obliged to keep anything, blah blah blah. What you want to do with it is yours. Since it's yours, is you do whatever you want. And I was like, I like this logic. Yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and donate it because I ain't finna, I'm like, I ain't never gonna wear this.
Yeah, you support a good cause right there. Give away to the needy.
But I did keep the El Salvadorian shirt. I was like, yeah, I kind of rock with this. You never know. Might come in handy one day. Hit a little bachata.
Get your sauce on.
Right. Yeah. But all right. If y'all still listening, man, find me on X at Monos, Monos __. Find me on the gram at RBMO ___. You find me on TikTok at RubberBandMo. No underscores. Yeah. You got it.
Yeah. Man, appreciate y'all for listening to this, or appreciate you for listening to this, because we appreciate our one listener that made it through this point.
Right.
I hope to see you again soon, Mom. But
that one listener gonna be us.
Yeah. Said, what did I say at the end? Did I?
Right.
Tank said what?
Crazy. Right. That's another crazy segment of the show.
But yeah, well, like Jelani's definitely gonna listen to this to clip it up or whatever for the socials and stuff.
Yo, I'm not.
No, you good, Jelani. I'm literally like 2-3 weeks behind uploading the videos to YouTube.
Oh, we might as well talk about it while we on the show. I was just gonna say, like, you might as well just wait to upload this one, because even if we could upload it still, but it's like that last episode was so long ago now.
Yeah, I guess so.
I mean, you can still put it up
It's
there.
funny because I have it uploaded. It was just like I needed to create the thumbnail for it.
Oh, okay.
That's literally it.
I
Well, because I always upload it when I send Mo the thing, I upload it and then I just wait for to create the thumbnail and then also to have the official title. So the titles are linear across all platforms.
Wait, so it's like the live version is up there, but the regular
live version's always up there. Yeah.
Oh yes, okay. So I didn't know that. So because it won't be, it don't for some reason it don't let me download the live versions. Like it'll only let me download
the videos, replays.
Yeah. That's the only reason I don't.
Yeah, same for me because I would like just instead of having to get it from you, I would just go ahead and just download it. But yeah, it won't let me do it either.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's what it is. But
hey, for our one listener, you just got.
You got a bonus meeting. You got a bonus
production. A little production meeting at the end of the show.
Sure. But all right, man. Let's get out of here. We'll see y'all next week. 1 a.m. We are out. Peace.
Chicks on your APs, looking like weeds. Haven't